the court, you are solely responsible. So, Mr. Speaker, this debating chamber must not metamorphose into a constitutional chamber. We should not attempt to advance a constitutional argument and make a constitutional determination where we know that there's another chamber responsible for that. Today, it may be Ninda. So, Mr. Speaker, for anybody to make an argument of convenience and try to shape it in a certain form, clothe it in a certain form, to impose it on us, Mr. Speaker, we will not accept it. I therefore pray, Mr. Speaker, that his request or prayer to you be rejected.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe. EpaHoaDaben.
Mushe emraso a ewo dadaada enye ne ya ende samra no eye adwuma. Forest reserves yama license small scale miners enkoye adwuma ewo ho. Water bodies yama license small scale miners enkoye adwuma ewo ho. Enti yawo emra dada ya ebo sa de we fi ho eban. Enti se yawo emra no ebo eho no mo a na se emra no enye adwuma. Why na wo say ye hwe no?
Well, sa emra no
na wo say wo hwe so a sa de ye adenti no. Wo mo na ma etwitwa na nkete ema small scale miners enya akwan ekoye mu adwuma. Enti se forest reserves no ye de ma obi at large scale concession na small scale miner akosem ye adwuma. Ye to obi ache no a kwan na ewo say ye di kan eche no. Ana ye nyina ye nim say ye forest reserves no so no. Ye forest commission ana ye wo ma sede se wo mo bo ye forest ho ebai. Enti se obi ekowura forest mu ya eni kwa so okobe na wo ye adwuma kra. Common sense will tell you say nipa e wo se ye paper no ye forest officer we ye dey sa kwaya no asensa enso wo mo no ye jai wo mo anyina na ye nam galamsefo a wo mo akomu so eso se e bia enka ye ama forest reserve bia district ewom se basi ye bam se ye mining ewom na officers am ho na ye take him on and that they would have set up one more answer ha.
Very well. Yo. Mr. Dujefi, young Medoba Kochi Kakra, Emra na Obo NIMOS initiative na baso na what change so yeah that NIMOS any the other operations are young hunumo. What can be say under NIMOS no excavators the shishia number form also can say NIMOS dwumadie no ye intelligence led just say wo mu hwehwem hu say aha no ye galamsey fu ansa no makoho wo mu ntu small scale miners for so sa bigire no so de abusa say wenti na mampani ebegu IGP task force isane say na wo mu ato apete a obi ani wo mu te say mine no makoho na national security fo bi nso nkofo bi ne nam the national security fo din ne nam also from whole tax force. Indeed, at a point in time, your tax forces bebre woman in Namwa, womo HHM for President Ogunina and a waja NIMOS pe. Obet me a Kansas Sudia say, free see a good nina the NIMOS on Quendina Hono. Sa extortion any tax forces are hold will be a yomu pepi, no, omu twechana.
So men katro another especially the local police over Asante there the quiet and carry these are areas that Kenya police follow and yo maduma ewo hono airtime the idea no so no wo ntuma wo mo edin so no ni nyina na say wo mo na wo mo akodiska
e dey na money airtime
party for be opening One say galamsey dwumadie no enti me say ya cut the term galamsey say dey see eyiso organ han ma ya na eyem ya ya de sa edin no ama chese nipa wo mo eye sa adwuma ni nyina no they have become criminals.
Now, is it not so? Is it not so because so forest be now who small scale mine adwuma wo ye now who adwuma illegal miner area impempi no hu sunsun bia
opani sunsun bia na galamsey any small scale miner no adwuma kwa ye fa so ye adwuma sunsun bia any now all that we are clamoring for and say we
sunsun nim dey say na mu nyina du kadaya
and sustainably. That is the key word. And I am telling you, you will never be our woman need license. They are doing the right thing, managing responsibly and sustainably. There is obvious say, Ubunku Obiswa, ya our license and so Nejuma. Even large scale mining, we have a lot of large scale mining. Yeah, woman operations, you know. What a kumwa. It is not in tandem with 10 years. What a woman regulatory mechanism, send a woman a year woman, and to operate with the Tanzania example. Star is where the SRT, about Tanzania for whom small scale mining. Now, woman a year, now, who is almost SS, a woman and Sassano. The late Magafuli president. Now, woman be a posted for nature for a tata Galanzo. And Kofi. You for one more airboat. One more echo, you might draw more jealous or metal woman Edian. Now, yeah, nothing, yeah, one more criminals, yeah. And to a frail woman, one more tenacity. And will take you, what you mean, one or who and so say, yeah. I was said, was it? And I'm telling you, now, Tanzania, not tourism and not illegal. And for warm revenue generation. And the small scale mining, the way I shape or mine, and they emphasize a day air bread on mine. Opening, yeah, galamsey, I'm a revenue grandpa. I'm telling you, now see, I buy a small scale mining sector, and I airborne, you go reserves, and you go. There are other. And you may be a cost of our sector no more. And I must say, amount for a deal or more criminals. Now, be a sorry, or Saturday or be so a journal warrior now what they are penning on Adrian. He said, well, we said, or back now, obey 100 cities, still obey me this amount. Now, obey me, I need a Juma. But I meant a young sensitive no crack. And you know, yeah, as on my uncle. You're failing in terms of how I was a small scale man and a year Juma and I'm a drew baby.
Because watch that, and soon you be a naquaya small scale miner, any illegal miner, any Juma.
So the only thing is that Nippon why not doing or be mining responsibly.
So that is where the problem is. It be said because I didn't to a bomua. Near one yama na license say on two from a good year. O two no biara yen to say will be a 7 previous a onim con by Jumano. Na insusie bia na net saying. And yes,
don't make the mode of operation.
Exactly. A quine offer to two from a good year.
The mode of operation.
And ya no ne a quine offer to two from a good year. Mode of operation.
Aha.
And on a making. Say a choir woman for Sutuno. Said you move to Galamsey, who were illegal miner now, small scale miner, who's Subia.
And I'm say, a choir first one, your day at 100 years, and so said, yeah, but Obia, all money responsibly. The problem we have now says, Obia, all your money, all your years, and if I end the year, and the day, start problem ye ever.
So, and person Kabema
Galamsey for you and ye. Despite the fact that you say Galamsey for your illegal miners, small scale miners. The reality is that a Galamsey for you now, Crumple, and a woman and your mining a ye.
My question is say if oka say difference be any illegal mine and small scale mine galamsey ni small scale mine mu a then most small scale miners no we are part of the problem.
Difference them.
I think the difference home.
Gravity technologies and yeka. Ghana hanom yeka small scale mining we refer to small scale miners as one more license at small scale miners. And those without license are called galamseyers.
Okay, odi mu anunsi.
So, that definition way, enya adie bako. But I am talking about a quenya. Yes, so mining, small scale mining. Small scale miners use excavated. Galamsey for use excavated. Small scale miners use washing plant. Galamsey for use washing plant. You know, I know na me SSS. I know the answer and them. But if you are mining responsibly and sustainably, Ghana for any problem. And in this way, I won't be anchored. At the crop.
So, sir, if mode of operation, you know, any kwaya mofa su tu famo good year no difference be any muntemo dia. Ne yensa say yensu asaya. And then more yamamu to me krata se muntua, you are expected to do responsible mining, no. We are a huge part of the problem. You
are creating position there and yes and the year coming in and say galamsey for small scale miners, they all employ the same mode that were educating. But will be at the year and year. Obisu amfa ne de enye ye enti sejano se obia the key word is responsible and sustainable mining. That is to do mining without recourse to say how environmental degradation and so policy no enyira no ebeba.
So if we are talking about responsible mining today, now there was small scale miners. You were galamsey for inso say and say. Now there is no difference between galamsey for any small scale for. Then near all your irresponsible mining no mumudu do another small scale miners.
Well, that be I won't now work on the sun. I may mention mono and Teresa.
Because Sanka small scale miners no a responsible mining na and kebe hu difference no. Say anka small scale miners no a responsible mining na and kebe hu sunsun ye da galamsey any small scale miners in some.
There are a lot of galamseyers who are doing responsible mining. We have a lot of galamseyers. They don't have documents. But when you go to their mining site, now
and who
destroying? They are not destroying water bodies. They are not destroying the environment. They are not working in the forest reserves. And can you say only say Yana or mine Yanki say obey legal mining? I just say Yamau Kata. If the Yan or Manu Crampono, Yan Shet, a quite our first one, so. Na yakasa we legal miner and I say we illegal miner. If you say tanka o miner, your narrative and say small scale mining bia or your responsible and sustainable small scale mining bia no or no na ye be friend illegal miner. Na mum obi a wo ye ni yie no ya friend galamsey a na that is baby a ye duru say e was say because we have people in the sector who are doing the right thing.
Is it the case?
Okay. Now, per se, you promote those who are doing it well. It says here, yeah, Kosa Ekun, Adabaqua, Ayra, and Anamo, year two as a man, and they say, young promote. One more year too many years. Now, and also no asset one more year no and cranny. Opening my mouth scenario.
Okay.
medical can say forest reserves yɛn ma yɛ land sɛ wɔ hɔ water bodies yɛn ma yɛ hɔ nti ɛhɔ no sɛ aban ntumi mmɔ ho ban na nipa ɛkɔ hɔ nom ɛkɔ yɛ adwuma a eduru baabi na wode sɛ galamseefoɔ a na sɛbi nyansa no ɛntɔ asomu efi sɛ mmara no kyerɛ sɛ yɛn kɔ ɛna ɔman no so ayɛ nhyehyɛeɛ ɛde saa mmeammea nyinaa asɛ enyumakuo bi nsa a wɔn na yɛ wɔn mo asɛ bi sɛ saa enyumakuo no ntumi nyɛ a sɛ wubire mu small scale fo bebree a ntɔ asomu sɛ yɛtumi abɔ yɛkwaeɛ ne yɛn nsuosuo yi ho ɛban na afei aba asase ɛso na afei wɔn mo ɛyɛ adwuma no a ɛyɛ ne yie wokɔ ha wɔyɛ ne pond system ne nsuo wɔ recycle ɛkɔ ha wɔyɛ ne biribiara kama. We should promote them. Na yɛ promote wɔn mo a na yɛn ha wɔn mo ɛyɛ adeɛ a ɛnyɛ no nyansa bɛkasa kyerɛ mo sɛ sɛ obi agya bɔne yɛ na wɔyɛ ne yie na yɛn ha ne deɛ a ɛne yɛ me nso no na gyae bɔne no na makɔyɛ deɛ yɛ na me nso manya asomdwoeɛ na me nso mayɛ me adwuma nti ɛko no baabi a yɛn aduru no yɛn mu bi yɛhu ne sɛ ɛwɔ sɛ yɛyɛ nhyehyɛeɛ so a ɛbɛkasa akyerɛ adwen dansɛ yɛbɛka sɛ yɛde atuo ne mmaa ɛna ɛgu nipa so sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ adeɛ wɔn mo ɛyɛ no wɔn mo ɛbɛgyae.
EpaHoaDaben nti si no pi na nokorɛ ɛyɛ baako pɛ.
Ɛte sɛ deɛ aduru awia show wosi wɔntie ha EpaHoaDaben wokɔtie baabi a aka bi a woka sɛ nkɔ baabi a.
EpaHoaDaben.
EpaHoaDaben. Say it again.
EpaHoaDaben. Now together, EpaHoaDaben.
Awesome.
Ɛte sɛ deɛ aduru awia show wosi wɔntie ha EpaHoaDaben wokɔtie baabi a aka bi a woka sɛ nkɔ baabi a.
EpaHoaDaben nti si no pi na nokorɛ ɛyɛ baako pɛ.
Principles of democracy, leaders need to bring financial money. Yeah, in year by the end of 2030, most of the West African countries will go back to military rule. Last year, if you say, what you say, we are safe. Any do na rantuano pese, watchinanquano. Otimi sisa niemem nsako na no onya phone papa onya baby partner onya car papa dem na I to say competition bi abadodo na abrabom na afi nso adwuma nso ni ho na bedru baabi na hwese ne amanyosem ho kɔ na obi benya position within 2 months 3 months no na hwese ne wasesa ne lifestyle or spend ya sabi onwene ho enam sika no sabi anya ne die ntino na saa nneɛma nketenkete ni nyinaa kɔ so no bibisa ebetimi esi enti no ubusa me a meka trust Ghana yɛnte heaven sabi asogyafoɔ na ɛwɔ hɔ no unim obi atrim individuals no nso na ɔmo hɔ no unim obi atrim big boys no nso na ɔmo hɔ no yɛka big boys a ɔmo sponsor coup d'etat ɛwɔ West Africa ha unim obi atrim.
EpaHoaDaben.
Principles of democracy.
EpaHoaDaben.
Yeah, in year by the end of 2030, most of the West African countries will go back to military rule. Last year, if you say, what you say, we are safe. Any do na rantuano pese, watchinanquano. Otimi sisa niemem nsako na no onya phone papa onya baby partner onya car papa dem na I to say competition bi abadodo na abrabom na afi nso adwuma nso ni ho na bedru baabi na hwese ne amanyosem ho kɔ na obi benya position within 2 months 3 months no na hwese ne wasesa ne lifestyle or spend ya sabi onwene ho enam sika no sabi anya ne die ntino na saa nneɛma nketenkete ni nyinaa kɔ so no bibisa ebetimi esi enti no ubusa me a meka trust Ghana yɛnte heaven sabi asogyafoɔ na ɛwɔ hɔ no unim obi atrim individuals no nso na ɔmo hɔ no unim obi atrim big boys no nso na ɔmo hɔ no yɛka big boys a ɔmo sponsor coup d'etat ɛwɔ West Africa ha unim obi atrim
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pɛ. EpaHoaDaben.
Baby, when you say first na ye binumu ye shut down pe politics. Ye say politics for no manyo made ntomunye. Ba na mumu binumu so nti enyina ye ni agi say ye beboa ma oman na akoso. Na ebo 1 o'clock pe na wa ye lawyer ma oman na lawyer for enyina pon akofia koda. Yamisha.
Show with when you have EpaHoaDaben. Who could see baby a cabia, who can say uncle baby?
EpaHoaDaben.
Hey, ya board in my yang. Mojana na no mushegunya de to ho my yang. Edumene won so say ye be ye biatwa so. Nimbia trasu konton krani ni pape seminku binya edi ebremu de mama ya sase ho do atu se sebeye yo Ghana enyese amanfo Ghana yamayo I will play this once more. Mesambo ni biem because you know mebo ni biem. Pese utie nwomo ni mu nsem. To be di akire na fa kwa adwendwene mu ene be break you down. Oya Ghana ni ama honhom mbra ha. Ma waso ne attention mbra ha. Momye nyina yenko. Yenara assassini eya board in my yang mojana na no mushegunya de to ho my yang edumene won so say ye be ye biatwa so nimbie ntra so konton krani ni pape saminku minya edi embremu de mama ya sase ho do ato se sebeye yo serinye yo enie Ghana yemaye Oman fomra meche
EpaHoaDaben.
banana
EpaHoaDaben.
pam banana da
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pɛ.
eya board in my yang mojana na no mushegunya de to ho my yang oman na wutimu na wani agimu no oman na wudi mu asumdwe no ebinom de omo moja na gisi ho ebinom de omo sacrifices energy o man si ho ebi kwa afiase for man we yaku ebinom because of for man we ebinom tu bata dwane ye because of for man we edusa me no mienu nso ebe ye bi ato aso na sacrifice be na ye na utie eye Dr. Ephraim Amo anwumu ya wo kyekyere de ma Ghana ya wo hu okambri bi se nimdie intraso eniema edi Ghana nya se sia no ebi ene nimdie intraso na uwie eno nso so a waba nkontonkrane eno nso eye niema ni bi a edi yenya na wosanso akɔhwɛ se impesaminkuminya onipa pese wonya ne ho ankwanti ena Ghana esi apeni awie yepese ade eye anwumu yi ekwa adwenwini mu na yenyina da yadwenwini ho busa se aso ne edikanfo ne yema Ghana no ye be ho mpo ana The baton has been handed over to us. Ene Ghana nipa hin na aye krado se obodiom ho omkra besi ho amoman we an se ede obekwa kwawi afiase mpo omobeye nipa hin eno mawe ataso se niema ekoso wo society mu a enye omobeka wu omobedi nukra moman nipa hin na aye krado police fo hin na aye krado se ene nipa bonifo bi bo womo emma womo bribe se womo nje bribe na womo nye din na oye ne bi nto mu a omo ye krado so mo begina brade de ma omo manti politicians ahe ene omo ye krado se ye di broni di sika be si ha se won ton oman ne ma no a obeka se me manti bedi nokure baton na yade amaye no ene generation ade ne yade ye nimdie intraso scholarly pride nimdie intraso mamena eye miame wofa odi asempa kwame oware head of sports Happy FM ene ahemachi ene wofa frebe eno se enwuma da bia wo bo no mepese ye breaking it down ana oto ne bo so ofiase ese wo dwudwam nimdie ntraso nkontonkrane apesa minkuminya se wo nko a wo pe adie ntie ene woto ani hwe Ghana sa suban yi eye pervasive ene ne yakɔ school yabo PhD na yabo manimu akɔ animu ene nso enanka ewiase nimdeɛ de anka abuo nanso ye nimdeɛ a atra so mponumu no ye brɛ ena titles ena religious titles, political titles, academic titles ena manfo no ye ni edi akire nimdeɛ ntra so ena was me engineer was your friend doctor was me a professor with how many years a day was me friend honorable your friend ni amfa honorable anka ho ana nanimu anyinya nimdeɛ ntra so ena ahye Ghana fo akoma mu ma ye pre titles ahodo enso titles ya yagye nyina enso manfa so emfa omo man no ekwan bia so ye da so esi apene ye da so mem ye engineers agye titles nimdeɛ de ye wo bi na wo pa masem sisesi ane frɛ Ghana politician buhu nimdeɛ wo be hwia gu ho se bi eja to ba bi frɛ politician frɛ civil society for frɛ experts wo mo bedwudwan sabudi mu ahwie nimdeɛ de agu ho enso bo man na bra bo mu asade nimdeɛ no wonhunu nimdeɛ no so mfaso ɛwɔ man ni mu nimdeɛ ntraso ɛna yɛ ɔman ne de ɛno achi wo fi hɔ no mu a wo de wani besi nkontonkrane na me wafa kyerɛ mu a wɔ se nkontonkrane no ɛyɛ sɛ obi a oyɛ daadaafo ochiti kwati kwan twetwa nkofo nanti kate corners yemu bebre yete saa ena nkontonkrane ena yedi ete oban ni mu ena ye ka kyerɛ ye ho sɛ ye doye man nkontonkrane nti doctor bi
ɛwɔ hospital enso wakɔkɔ bie ne private hospital ɛna ɔdivert patients ni nyinaa kɔ no hɔ yafa obi pharmacy head ɛna wabi ɔno so ne pharmacy wɔ baabi ɛna wɔwia aban hospital aduro ɛna ɔde kɔ ɛyɛ ne hospital odi yi a ɔso ɔno ɔyɛ smart saa pɛpɛpɛ ne ade ti ɔba anim yɛbu yɛ ho fa so saa nkontonkra ne nada ɔhu saa deɛ no intricate frakadam wɔsere hwɛ w'anim paa nso na wɔbu nkontonkra ne politician bɛgyina w'anim ka kyerɛ sa deɛ wɔbɛyɛ ma wo nso na kuma mu paa nkontonkra ne wɔnim so wɔdaadaa wɔboa wɔde ano dɛ ne kasa dɛ sɛ wobɛyɛ a wobɛto aba de ama ne nti woto aba ne ma ne wie a ɔde saa nkontonkra ne na ɛdi w'anim ɔsane sɛ da bia abusa no asɛm no ana wɔdaadaa wo na ɔde wo nenam it is in the pipeline munya abotrɛ ma yɛ saa nkontonkra ne ɛna ɔman no kɔ so esi apɛneɛ na nnwom no wokɔtoa nso du baabi a bonso no aka kyerɛ sɛ adeɛ baako nso a ɛdi yaman ni nya kɛseɛ paa ɛyɛ mpɛnsɛminkuminya sɛ ɔte aseɛ sɛ ɔman a yɛti mu yɛyɛ selfish obia ni hɔ no mu a wayɛ krado sɛ obɛmia no ho kakraba ne nua so mpo ho ahenhan no yɛyɛ selfish sɛ me nko a ne mabusua bɛdie nti ɛnɛ wobɛhɛ culture no a wɔsi de dan a no ato wɔ tententen wɔmfa community no ho ahanom na wonya asase a wobɛsi dan wɔwɔ sika nti wɔyɛ selfish wɔbɛtua bribe a wɔwiase nyinaa and wɔn a wɔgye bribe ne nyinaa nso so yɛ selfish because wɔn hwɛ wɔn nko abotom wɔbɛtua bribe a wɔwiase nyinaa ne yɛde baabi nsuo fa no ne yɛde ama no ɔwɔ sika nti na wafele hɔ no ma na okukuru ne mansion de asi so nsuo to de yiri a na mmɔborɔ wafo a waseɛ no na nsuo yiri wɔ mo sɛ yɛyɛ pɛsɛmi nkuminya yɛn ko ayɛ pama yɛ ho nti ɛna ɔman no esi apene a yɛti mu ɛsa na ɛyɛ awerɛhoɔ sɛ mfie bebree nie a ɛyɛ Dr. Efremamo ɛbɔ saa anwum yi ɛnso woba Ghana ni mu a suban a wɔka ho asɛm nyinaa no ɛnya deɛ a yɛsesa yɛ ho afiri mu afei kura mpo na ayɛ den afei na nkontonkrane no mpo yɛbɔ mu degree na yɛyɛ no professional level afei mpo na nimdeɛ ntrasoɔ no kyɛ sɛ agye nsɛm afei mpo ɛna pɛsɛmi nkuminya no adokono yɛn ɛna politician woto abama no na ɔba power within 6 months na nabrabɔ nyinaa asesa me sɛ awie mehwɛ politician bi video ɛwɔ TikTok so nanu ya ɛna wɔkɔhɛ wɔdefoɔ yɛ totwe wɔba kora me sɛ ei na abrɛnti na sesei wotu abɔ mu sɛ wie ɛdeɛ na asesa onya ya ɔno nko ani na busua sɛ wɔde nneɛma bɛgu akwan mu na obi bia da nya so mfasoɔ na ɔno nso ne na busua nya so mfasoɔ ne da bi opiam ɔno nko ani ho ɔno na ne party aba power ɔno nko na wɔso odidie ntia deɛ wɔbɛtwitwa nkɔfoɔ na nti ɛne ɛkwan bi ɔbɛfa so a ne nyinaa bɛba ne side no wɔbɛyɛ ɛno ɛne Ghana ɛnɛ ɛbɛyɛ yie o ɛnyɛ yie o ɛgyina me ne omienu so ɛnyɛ obi na ɛba bɛkyerɛ o ɔmanfoɔ no ɛmmra mɛkyerɛ sɛ Ghana bɛyɛ yie o sɛ ɛnyɛ yie o wotie nsɛm a wɔkeka na wɔbusa yɛ nyinaa yɛmmra mɛkyerɛ sɛ neɛ yɛyɛ na ɛbɛma ɔman no akɔ n'anim a asase ne ɛyɛ nyinaa yɛ deɛ a ɛyɛ aboɔdenden ma yɛn paa yɛn nananom mogya no mohwie gu de gye hɔ ma yɛn ɛna adumi ne omienu nso so si ɛbɛyɛ bi atoa so nimdeɛ ntrasoɔ nkontonkrane ɛne nipa pɛsɛmi nkuminya ɛno na ɛdi yɛ brɛ mu dɛm ama yɛ asase wei ɛho dɔ atɔ sɛ Zakraman Pro Dr. Efremamu baabi a ɔkra wɔ bia ɔbɔ adeɛ nhyira soɔ ka wobɛtumi asan baabia mu asan brɛ bia mu na ɛbɛhwɛ neɛ wagya n'akyire wokaeɛ Memoaha emu akwa ababa EpaHoaDaben dwumadie so medin ne Bismark Brown obetimi afrɛ me BB awia commander matena se me ne mapamfo ne nam Joel Sanko eka ho Jimaima adato ehwe amadwumadie na koso and of course we are streaming live on Facebook awia na abena kumaniwa a Joyce nso kanedi ho ehwe amaye streaming live oboso apia adodo na efrɛ no the special one o titan nka was sports mu awia he's always part and he's here as well of course Kwadwo Sefa Dankwa oye acting acting head of current affairs ɛwɔ Happy FM ha ɛnso tɛkyerɛ dendenden a yɛde ɛne nkɔmmɔ no ɛbrɛw yɛatena si deɛ ne aba na ɛne nkɔmmɔ no nso deɛ bebree sɛ matensɛm asi ɛwɔ Guinea Bissau cool ɛna esi ɛnra na ne yɛ wanwane sɛ wukuada ɛna nanka ɔman ne twɛn sɛ electoral commission wɔ hɔ ɛde aba a wɔn kɔto yɛ sunsunsuanso ba bɛto abɔntene ɛne sɛ asogyafoɔ tutie mu a abatoɔ no nsunsuansoɔ anya ma mmɔntene na wɔn declare coup sɛ ɔmampani a wɔte ɛyɛ ɔman no soɔ Guinea Bissau ɔman no soɔ no ɛyɛ Umaru Sisoko Embalo yɛakye no ɛyi na free akonnwa no soɔ meba wo details as to saa coup because unim reasons nti asogyafoɔ na ɛwɔ Guinea Bissau ye coup no very interesting. It is not the usual corruption economic reasons. They have very interesting reasons in tia omo ayesa coup na omo reasons na omo ma yentie no Ghana ye lesson be to learn from this very matter. We are coming ho near the sankomo ni abonkomo na oboase nso mountain ye free ho ba na mo be kai se January ya mampani eba konwa no so anche ena emebunu bi wo boase se omo bawura Ashanti Gold for wono mining concession a omo agyato ho emfie bebre na womo ye no ne kowie ye ne se enipa more than 5 for the womo toye asogyafoɔ no tuo kasae ema womo drope nipa ni bi egu fomo ekowie akire nipa nimfo bebre de omo anu tumu president kasa ho ena chief imam national chief imam nso ekoboase ekokosra wonom a omwadehia to ni biesa nse na ebinim nso ye nuanom muslimifo na community miners. In fact, news portals be from small scale miners. I hono mementia se papa. But me who almost say omo community miners. They are not small scale miners. Small scale miners yanko for omo per mining concession. Omo chro command minerals commission. No more din hihye so no nhihye no so. Now so near emrantie yi kan de. Ade no nye small scale miners asem. Na momo no omo ye community for omo teboase a omo susu se ebra so wo se Ashanti Gold for ema wo mo asase no mo su edidi asase no su ebie na wo mo asem ne se ne chief imam be ka kire wo mo hye wo mo bo se wo mo ne Ashanti Gold for be kasa o kai kra se president o ye campaign o kan ye obeye mampani so kai se wo mo ne big mining companies ni bi kasa and I think he was talking about one version of community mining a wo mo de ba a enipa nwotwe ko wu yayaye a wo kire mampani kan say omo ne mining companies akase ne be kasa na omo CD omo concession ni bi anya de a omo be didi su ebiemu na nka dia ma community for no omo de mining ne oboase residents ne press conference omo kan say omo ma Ashanti Gold for 1 week ultimatum. Say if by 1 week time omo ma masase ankodidi so a omo betu omo hofo say futo ne de minimu de awie ebebo apin womo na yate womo nsem no ase but ade na kwakwa say by force so say ne yesi man asase by force o man asase ne de a ene ne besi sa na ye kona na ewie ye ni nkobo na ye mbon komo e wosa issues enyina da eho as you join us live on Facebook with your thoughts, your comments and your views. Na ewie nso ubowura parliament the expectation is the speaker at the ruling on the fate of Pandai Mrashebedwani Honorable Nyinam. Se wobekɔ so atena Mrashebedwafio as MP, and I said because of the Tamale High Court ruling inti, was se otwe ne ho na ojai ne ho frɛ as member of parliament for Pandai. We're expecting the speaker's ruling ene ewie on this very matter. Na my producers have just sent something to me. Metume bona makin kemu na Speaker Backben I clarify, say, Pandai Member of Parliament Matthew Nyindam remains an active MP until December 1, 2025.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
The Speaker of Parliament at the verdict on the fate of Pandai Mrashebedwani aba because Tamale High Court tenase no omo so mutie nsem ni nyina mu hwe Ghana mremu no aba na ye koto ya MPP candidate Matthew Nyindam wini ye no ye twa ni nyina mu court no ema directives say he should not hold himself as an MP biem asem no ekopie parliament because court no survey parliament court to survey parliament wie ye no minority for no be kire say omo ne sa aginasie no eya adwene enye yie na omo ntimi nyi Matthew Nyindam free parliament because omo akwa appeals court womo afile processes near high court ne kan ye no yen kan siye nti omo argument ni says yen kan wie ya there is no way MP no be free mrahye bedwafie ho until appeals court ruling ne beba my majority for no so asem ne say eno so dey free hin ye parliament na law abiding parliament say court to be a take decision na decision ne be affect mrahye bedwafie na ode ho ruling na breyen no notify yen a ne court ne se yen no na wo se ye esono court na esono parliament ti court aye na dwuma parliament also odi so enti omo de baby omo gina ne se Matthew Nyindam enye fit to call himself an MP ene and a speaker ede ne verdict or ruling on that matter by na ni nyina ne se Abambagben clarification there ban say member of parliament Matthew Nyindam obekoso ayemrahye bedwani
Happy FM 98.9
akopem 1st December 2025 and now 27th November 2025 aka be 3 days na the seat and an tenure in parliament are expire. How the minority is taking this, we'll find out. But in the course of the debate, minority leader, meaning you see here, but the so the Speaker of Parliament, I refer minority leader Honorable Afenyo Markin to the Privileges Committee. Say, Unko yi no ho ano ewo ensem bi ho efa ne conduct ne ye bi ewo mrahye bedwafie kromo ye de
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe
ya de ne kire the New Patriotic Party ni mu so na awie ya Honorable Atachia ato missiles he said the ensem no mo kan plain Omo kan plain. O say moto aba MPP delegates moto aba ma Kennedy Japan oba be president obe kan madafaka. Bismark.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Sajwa.
EpaHoaDaben.
Baby, when you say first na ye binumu ye shut down politics. Yes, politics for no money or money and your but na mumu ebinumu so nti enyina ni agi say be boama o man na koso na ebo 1 o'clock pe na wa ye lawyer ma o man na lawyer for enyina pon akofia koda nyamishra
EpaHoaDaben.
European Union enso boga na kokko say enyina yie yentutu ye niema yie yema ye ninko ye democracy no ho yie adentia EU say cool na ACC or West Africa no ben Ghana dodo too close for comfort. Enwechi they talk about activities of extremists, terrorists for ya omonenam Mali enam Burkina Faso ni Niger share so no omuni nyina ne yenso bohye. In fact bokum kro ni bi kura de ene Burkina Faso utu nice anu awuram. We have on record say sa group C for bi kura bia bagana pain ebe pe supplies be replenish your stock be cooling off ebi mo ba no mo be toniema no mo de ko enti EU say with the coups happening and activities of extremists also heightening around our borders, Ghana and pay attention to the democracy ni ye pa. But opening be also to security in some way. 4 years ago, I can say, my Ghana and Adrian say, Yakoto Abadebia yi president, Ntokwen senior de adi intino, democracy ne yate asiama, enya de aku beti besi biem. Oma reasons intia, etesa, ewe me ni penny be kasa, na mebusa no semba akum yonomi ensa. But yewe mami.
Principles of democracy, leaders need to blame fanya jumano. Ya in year by the end of 2030, most of the West African countries will go back to
Happy FM.
Last year, if you say, "Oshe seni wiase ko," ene mre dodo na mranto ano pese, ochina nko ano, otimi sisa niemem, nsafo onya phone papa, onya baby partner, onya car papa dem, na I to say competition via badodo na brabum, na efi nso adwuma nso ni ho. Na bedru baby na hwese ne amanyosem ho ko. Na obi benya position within 2 months, 3 months no. Na hwese ne wasesa ne lifestyle. Or spend dia sabi onwene ho enam sika no sabi enya ne die ntino. Na saa ne man ketenkete ni nyina ekoso no. Bibisa ebetimi esi.
EpaHoaDaben.
Operating Paul Boatin be joining me ewa homano so later on ewa dwumedie no eso. You want to be part of our show? Join us live on Facebook. Na yefa Ghana kobono shisha soba Facebook a happy 98.9 FM. Uhu yen stream na patcho bomodin so be like and share. Na we stay hot with your comments as well. Meba no mabekenkan o messages ni nyina ede amount. Obetimi so do messages ni bia fa WhatsApp so na maje brain so akenkan on 0594 051145 and all the views for how American Kama. Actually, so maybe phone lines no about Homano so na enkomo a won so wo ede ebe kan ye die ho no de aba 0551563916 and 0555657278. Anopei beto dwa se ene nsuo ni mframakase bi eba na won e won kranka so a Ashanti region ene other places no omunyina yie sa ne se nsuo mframa bi eba ano beye den pa msa no pa wienum ye kusukuku kakra but emu asante but emma menye complacent still ada ho so na precautions e wo se wo take nyina so wa take se bia wo krom na wo te asem no obi ofi afre no na wo mpoma no ntutumu ma wo enema asensuo kese to a etimi create problem ma wo no frefie na fatutu yie se be ya ekoba ne se nsuo ne basa de Matthew for ne kana na sebia mu ohu ankwankwanko chiro yen hye ne nso na yenye ne saa 989 FM EpaHoaDaben dwumedie nie mi ne Bismark Brown memo aha memo akwaba Oso Yehofa. .9 FM EpaHoaDaben Jumedie eni check with your time 9 gone past the hour 3 etnasia kopem se no nsia bebo mame fanko kumase na menka Jumedie kase bi eba ho asem nkyerɛw wani je ebibidro ho se ne memani je bibidro ho ya atwo wenwaso ne tie ne ye conference bi baso ewa bibidro ho na sa conference me mpese obemese because enkomo na wo hia ni nyina ho na ni nyina bekoso ni opese wo de wani hunu efa herbal medicine hu nyina ebesi wo ho. In fact, at this conference se nimdie na wo hwehwe efa ehabanduro ho pa na wanya na menim ba bia benya no. At this conference ena ebibiduro bi a wo hwehwe a wahwehwe a wo hu wo behia no ewase Ghana Herbal Conference. Ghana Herbal Conference. Baso on the 3rd of December. Akopim the 5th of December. Baso ewo Prempe Assembly Hall ewo Kumase. Itira semu that conference is so a harmony in herbalism, balancing tradition and innovation. Balancing tradition and innovation. And in fact, a very sensitive topic because one more year have been run a binimu gidi said the yen and nanomo year no san a was a no. Into what they a dronugu aluminium chancing be a mono de no drona, the gideon say a best a bet a med drona who day in Yina Brane because then a nanomo de cuckoo ne ye ya. Ntuba hwa no kukuo ketua bi no de no aduro nti ontimi scale na adwuma ne nkɔ nanim miwa ye wo abefo kwan anka betimi de anu aduro na anka betimi anu aduro no dodo ne mpokura no aye very hygienic akwan mani betimi de saa tete kwan na ne ye niema no ye de be fra enaba fo kwan a still ye be maintain ye aduro no ne authenticity ena ne efficacy. And on common yekodinu Kumase 3rd to 5th of December. Come and experience live herbal demonstrations abekoso. Exhibitions ahodo abekoso. Kofo beda wo mohaba and ready brands ahodo will be on display. And of course, there will be engaging discussions. Top practitioners nebeba herbal medicine giant ni guru bi a woni ni bia beba sa conference yase. Researchers no so be wo ho ena regulators wo mo a wo mo tenetene won na ye habanduro hweso mu di mra so ne nhyehyeye no so no wo mo so be wo dwumadie na se ebi ne the Ministry of Health, ebi ne the Food and Drugs Authority, the Center for Plant Medicine Research, and Ghana Federation of Traditional Medicine Practitioners Association, GAFTRAM. Miame Dennis die ni conference eye free. Gate fee bi anim. And a person call conference ni bi an you be an so be register keke o register so ye enjoy hwe. Kwano kwenwen waso ne tie nkomo ni bi, have an open mind, ready to learn something new. If you want to be part of this conference, register online, GhanaHerbalConference.com. GhanaHerbalConference.com, one word. So internet no so be mo ni so everywhere dey tro number you to keke na of we anu afre. O from e chiro kwan be fa so a o me na kama ma o na wa register na boko. By 2nd December now we come say wa check into your hotel. When you been China akoda so anu akoda ho. Adia chen 3rd straight on to Prempe Assembly Hall. On the 5th na ya sore so na epa ye boy ye no ye dia beto o man nyina animu. Ope se obeda wo haba nduro di na obe exhibiting so a kwanda ho obetimi aba. Obe for the same number 0202222095. Now the book will stand. When to me and Nukumasia, you can follow the conference online. Social media so the nebebia at GMA Herbal Conference on all social media platforms. At GMA Herbal Conference. Ghana Herbal Conference. Our roots, our remedy. Free. Seth Antobam, you are live on Facebook. I can see you. Thank you so much for joining us. Seth Antobam, aka Breastfeeding. Or say I'm watching the Great Afternoon Political Show. Bibi, you are doing a great job. Ghana is for Mahama forever. Saong, yate. Henry T. Toginia, or say good afternoon. I am watching you live from my residence in Cardwell. Oh, okay. Thanks for joining us, Henry. Wafake are joining in live from New Plant Station. Or say only a state of emergency can stop Galamsey. Mr. President, John Mahama, please comply. We any amount for kakra umudia beguho and emereno aircon any mono na more airba. Also bet me abe joining yen live on Facebook near the Ghana and Komono and over now the uncommon so ba. Comensa Pila 2, bro me home. Thanks for joining our live stream. Or say NDC failed to pay nurses and teachers allowance. Hey, resetting penny. Anyways, kudos to Hajia Safia Mohammed, next NPP National Women's Organizer Hopeful, and Honorable Bridget Sophie Kumi. All right, that's Comensa Pillar 2 for joining us live on Facebook. Unsubeti joining live on Facebook na ode onson komo aba. And then komo ayedi no egu ahodo, but yentia semwa e course o ma shebeje fie. Facheme. Emma Speaker, I refer the minority leader to the Privileges Committee.
Grounds of contempt set out in the standing orders. Specific grounds of contempt set out in the standing orders. This category focuses not on the place where the act occurred, but on its effect. Conduct that conveys the impression that Parliament's decision may be ignored without consequence qualify as an affront to dignity, even if committed outside the presence of the House. Democratic experience across the world teaches that institutions endure not by their formal design alone, but by the conduct of those entrusted with them. The strength of this House, therefore, rests not merely in its constitutional design, but in the consistent respect members accord to its decisions and processes. Honorable members, having reviewed the complaint, the standing orders, and the governing principles, I am satisfied that the matter raised prima facie implicates the dignity and institutional integrity of this House. Pursuant to Order 34.1, I therefore refer the matter, the complaint lodged by the Honorable Member for Boku Central and a majority leader to the Committee on Privileges and Immunities for examination, inquiry, investigation, and report to the House. The committee is directed to 1. Ascertain the relevant facts giving rise to the complaint, including the actions taken by the House and by the honorable member concerned. 2. Review those actions taken within the framework of outstanding orders and the applicable protocols of the ECOWAS Parliament. 3. Determine whether the conduct, if established, constitutes contempt of Parliament or a breach of privilege under Orders 30 and 31A. And 4. Make appropriate recommendations to the House for its consideration. In conclusion, honorable members, whatever our political differences, the authority of Parliament rests on a shared commitment to respect its decisions and uphold the integrity of its processes. Allegations that a member has disregarded a decision of this House must therefore be examined.
EpaHoaDaben.
Speaker of Parliament, the Right Honourable Aban Bagbin and Watinin Kano, and they was cited the, in fact, minority leader for contempt, Emma, were refer Asemono to the Privileges Committee. Now, a day na minority leader, Aya, and they refer no to the Privileges Committee because he's been cited for contempt. Majority leader, I think, sir, Mekaya be 2 weeks or 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago. Ejina on the floor of Parliament, Eka say minority leader egu Ghana animu ase. Ewo ECOWAS Parliament. Na animguase odi egu oman Ghana ne Ghana Parliament nyina ne say Ghana Parliament eyi ni din afri emrahye badwafo a yesoma wo mu so mu nkosi oman na namu ewo ECOWAS Parliament. Minority leader din ka ho. First no, na ni din ka ho. Na oye member of the ECOWAS Parliament. It is obekaya MPP wo power no. ECOWAS Parliament eba Ghana ema o hosti wo mo ewo Winiba. Zabu nyina mo bekaya. But in this 9th Parliament, Leicester Ghana call ECOWAS Parliament as omo representatives no. Na Honorable Afenyoman Kendin kan. And so Ghana delegation you could do Nigeria omu call ECOWAS Parliament. Na Afenyoman Kendin akonya kanena to so ache say one team poso dogo bi enu abe. Enunti Ghana delegation no swearing in ceremony was ankeye mo omo ne adwo omo to parliament ni mu no amaso. Why? Esane say yen kasa ne ye confused as to one more ye de omo basa parliament ho. So we were asked to come home and rectify yen situation ne hunu nipa kasa ye de omo ba ECOWAS Parliament. Send ye be swai omo in. And according to the MPs who were in the ECOWAS Parliament, this was a huge embarrassment to Ghana and the Parliament of Ghana. Omo free ECOWAS Parliament back home. And a majority leader cited the minority leader for contempt because Parliament had given a directive, say, Honorable Afenyoman must not go. And so he defied that instruction. And okoye, and yen delegation yentimi anso mu in, and ye san bae, and the honsema kowie. Speaker kasemu no, or say institution bi bedi mu a, na enye bia ni din, ene na honfama keke. Nemo mono sesa institution di obuo mapa ema wono ane nhyehyeye ne ne mra. Enti asem we no o ma ne ntwamu nko. O mo nkotena asem no ho. na omunye hwehwemu ne koba ya in spite of the directive say ma onkobi no okoye ema ne ekosiye EpaHoaDaben dwumadie ni
ben EpaHoaDaben
aha no nsɛm ni si na ne de ma o ye ma ne mpa ho ansa nti you want to stay here ye di nkomo ye bon nkomo wo adwenkyerɛ wo issue si hu afabra na menkenkan ni nyina emfa emma wo na wie de nkomo no eye bebre na mebo afutu samu adabia me de ma mentie no mfiri ho ntem na fe yentinsi ne nkomo no mu kase na gini bisa nkomo no eye bibia wo ho cause wotie ne sojafo ne ka nti ene o ma yeku ache president and guess what sa kuwe no enye abanmu nkofo nko an echichi wo mu omu chichi opposition members nyina nso afra abanmufo. It tells you say kuwe no ase a different kakra and then the money different. We'll get into all of that. 989 FM EpaHoaDaben dwumadie ni ti mefutu semi mame na mpa chotu ho anamon plastic eho na ye ba adwemu ye hu se nipa dodo na na edwa o mu bedi ye eguru ababag mu nipa dodo na na ye hunu no se wo mo banso o mu nkura bag bia wo mo ebansa pan na o mo abedi dwa egu baller mu di kofie me friend no baller because rubber no wo di du fie a the next thing is o to atwene ye mu bebre ya masa single use plastic suban no edidi ye mu ama ene bebia wo befa bia rubber nkwa na wuhunu rubbers aye yengates muma ye street so rubbers aye soma epunimu rubber nkwa na egumu yensa ase ni nyina ya rubber enso ye nyina ye bedi atumu se ye ma me ne mu amu wadwemu ha mo bedi atumu se emri bi etwamu na obie ni won mu a wokodwomu a onkura ne basket a odi kodwom emri bi etwamu mu nyina mo bedi atumu se wokodwomu a eniema ene de rubber chichire no ne ye de paper ena na chichire ye de cement paper chichire nam ye de cement paper chichire tomatoes ye de cement paper chichire niema bebie enkate a ye rekura ne ye de paper ena na chichire saa na ye no enso ene yesi ye ne ebie yesi ye mpebre enti ene no obi akodwomu a ensapan na wakodwom obeba no edwa kakra okodiye na ode rubber edi n'echi abafie oyi niema ni fi rubber ni mu a rubber no adane baller na ebi anamunim ade ba ko a ewo rubber ho polythene bag ene banku rubber ne rubber senkitinkiti ya muhui ade ba ko wo ho ne se sa rubber empro oto twene a wobetimi ewu eja rubber no na rubber no da so ti ase rubber ni bi etimi di as much as 50 years net asase so na wo nipa wo ko o take away polythene bag no ene eno akwaji dia ba fie in the next 15 years sa rubber bag na wo to twene ye no ebe koso anante asase so na wo nipa wo eja hoko ewe ye de nkomo bi abase moma ye nyina ye boy ye ho na ye nye ne ebetimi aye na se ye betimi anka rubber bag no ye nte so ene o kodwomu akodi dwa anka ne se ne anka wo bai na anka wo kra basket na o de abedi dwa ade ba ko nso ye hu ni se wo mo a eto aduane ene ye mfa haban ensabu aduane biem anka first ye te emo ye te wache egu haban mu na ye de paper asa chichire ho de amawo na wo de akọ ene okogina ho na ne nsagu nachi o to wache sen osime to wache 10 cedis na wache shishishi a intutu ofri mu ba no na ye yi rubber hata ya ye de petrochemicals na aye na ye te wache na gu rubber ni mu ama okwabrani na ye de imekwa gusu di amano na ya chichire ni asa de asha na da rubber mu ni asa chichire rubber ni because say oil ni be fi ebe pia fa ho ansa na ye de ashe final take away rubber mu di amao enti okoto wache 10 cedis ebi a enam 10 cedis ana 15 cedis o de rubber bags miensa na di wachi abafie na ne ye ya ne se obedu fie no hu se aduane ne ye de gu chansi mu o na wahwie aduane na free chance mu de agu wahwie agu rubber ni mu e de agu chance mu ohia wa moa rubber no ato rubber na twene aduane kakra bi a wudi na bola oye ewie ye besre o kwa akoto aduane a bomoden fa o chance enkoje rubber ma edwomu ha wutie ma me pe bowl bi si wo nchen na o kwa akoto waache a o de wo bowl da kwa akoto se wo kwa akoto wo gobe a enkoje ngu rubber mu emfa emma emewie mu chance mu wie ntontwene na rubber no eseye nsase no rubber no eku ayemmoa rubber no aye epunimu ma menu mienu ewo asudie ye wo chefa ewo sadie mu enti say let's all say no to single use plastic mama ye nyai single use plastic no na yemmo environment no ho ban ye beslo eya mo mani ko school a obo mu pekoko no eya to flask a betai di koko na gu mu ama akwada no koko hyehyehe a ye de agu sa rubber ni mu no eye yade e na wo to e de ama akwada no won se wo de aduane a ehye egu ahaban mu a ahaban ne pampan agi aduane ni mu saa pepepe na rubber ne tie chemicals a ye de aye rubber no se wo de aduane a ehye gu mu a chemicals no enso ba aduane ni mu esane heat na ewo mu no akwada no yade na wo to de ama no ebi kura mpo de omoye mane etan omo de aduane ni gu rubber ni mu no maka emo na fra ewo rubber ni mu na omaka rubber na no na omafe emo eti se ne wo no pure water
EpaHoaDaben
bibi mene nananom anope yenso ye koto wachi no e bi ye tensi ani ye basket ani ye de koto ye nyina eboa na wo campaign etimi edimu enti eja ye koto wachi anope no e bi ye kandan ani ye tensi titi ni nyina saa ne ye tono eja ne mafo ne se emra danenti ti asa ko ye dadem ye da se bibi so wakaye
EpaHoaDaben
Let's say no to polythene bags and disposable plastic. It's everywhere. Flying. Eh? Rubber. Then we use Asoma de biayeka. And this will fly a bit me akwa we go a bit me akopie Madina. A bit me akoba bia and they fly loosely in the sky. She Robert, look at how high it's going. We have called another location. Then somebody used them. We will be use here. About you.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
A message ni is simple. Akwami abetimi afa so abeti rubber so no ye na yemo environment no ho ban. Rubber na ye use ni nyina akopiepu ni mu. Rubber ye use nyina aka ye gates mu. Akwahye ensase na se na enobaye ni ntimi mbo. Yemo ye homoden na yentwe ye ho emfiri eye single use plastic ho. Ne ye kane saade a na me pa kire se enei ukoto aduane a bomoden se wode wankasa chensen bekwa akoto aduane enkonsa pan ukodwomu afa reusable bag anasa wo basket ana wo tote bag fa kodwomu ne fa kodidwa woto ade na ehu hia so beje take away rubber benje ubetimi de atoka mu ebekọ botomu afa hye obotom ebekọ bag mu afa fa hye bag mu pechensen to office ne du awia na peso koto aduane bedi no office a wankoto angu rubber mu afa ma office togu chensi mu ne didi chensi mu na wo ye nipa yenye ne saa na yemfa mmoa nkwada ni kosku anopa na mbetoko kwa moma munto eye flaska omudi mu koko ni begumu na kwada na timi anum koko no indignity yenye ne saa ma ye ho na yembo environment no ho eban wei ene mefutusem a ene wiei me de ebro me gina we so adane me ho me koba ye bawura ensem no mu na kase pa
Ewra me pacho bra na me hwa de wo bag yi
bra
den and then subiem.
Hey, time heba misha ya me ka say yi ba kun and we yi me ensen.
Bra, sanya time heba misha esia jimi ni me fie for enya dia baako ebeso yen.
We dia udi se ofa ni nyina.
Time heba misha me ka say me di one dance ya heaven and ede me kwa akopie. Enti se malaria we draw ne time heba mixture.
Enye enunku o, die nanum ato a wontimi anidie no. Time heba mixture duro no ena ye ma wo. Oba a wafa afuro de o ma akwada anofo. Ene akwada a woni mfie dumienu entimi num aduro yi bi. Se obeto aduro yi bi anoma, hwe se wakọ hospital anase lab am ye hu se wo 3D malaria yi bi ansa. Se o pe time heba mixture enuro dudu atu a, fo ani kire KNG Herbal Center ewo Emrom Abidjan House. Ana ba akoso wo Atonsu Monaco Junction.
Eno echi ura pharmacy shop, chemical shop, any herbal shop dudu na mu a obenya bi ato.
Fre 0244 417669.
Kayo, set time no TIME. Time herbal mixture. Afi malaria fever bi adani ziba ewo munu be tuako.
FDA ahwe edwadie nkrato yi mu agi atomo se eye.
Your property holds the power to transform your future. Welcome to Eclipse Collateral Management, the game changer in turning property documents into profits. We are not just another service. We are your partner in unlocking sustainable income and fueling business growth. With prime brokerage, collateral brokerage, credit brokerage, and land documents perfection, we are redefining what is possible for property owners and business owners alike. At Eclipse, we have built a primary depository platform, a secure, innovative space where property owners like you can lodge your documents and earn risk-free, sustainable income. For businesses struggling to secure funding, we provide collateral solutions you need to thrive and grow. Every move we make is backed by a rigorous credit appraisal process, so you know you are in safe hands. Find us at Adenta Barrier near Medi Moses Hospital, beside the West African Senior High School wall. Call 054 383-2466 today. At Eclipse Collateral Management, for property owners, we say, think safety and decent income. And for business owners, we say, think funding before projects.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Baby, when you say first na ye binumu ye shut down politics. Ye say politics for no manyo made ntiomunye. But na mumu binumu so nti enyina ye ni agi say ye beboa ma oman na akoso. Na ebo 1 o'clock pe na wa ye lawyer ma oman na lawyer for enyina pon akofia koda. Nyamishra.
EpaHoaDaben.
Now I need to make a confession here. Also, TV no, and that time na wa bemu. Edika mami chia wo enchia union somewhere ha ni atifo nyina wi. Nti anopedia meba ETV BB shows so. Yes. Yeah. And you're hot. Now we banso that's how we research because when prepare we have about embarrassment. So anytime maybe a babiano I have to prepare for. But at that time not been to us and okay, partly because we are in government, so you were holding our feet to the fire. But now we are Juma. Exactly. No, actually, no. And I will copy or I think so you continued your work and me the kind I say now me monitor and particularly that show of yours use plastic. You must find a way to bring back that program because it was a program I was always following. And you continued your work and see how we are with Jumana you want the best for Ghana and you continued we said and I mean we are now here so you are focused. I need to commend you for it.
EpaHoaDaben. EpaHoaDaben.
It is said here, a drew a real show with when you have EpaHoaDaben. Who could see baby, Kabia, Okasenko baby.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
Happy 98.9 FM, EpaHoaDaben Jumedie Enie. Welcome back. Afe no joining I that say. Medine Bismark Brown, Utimi Fremi BB. Joel Sanko is a producer of the show. Now, and then we are meeting BBC. I say zipline force are bind your mocha into your close it down about 4 of them centers near the idea. You yate. I say we want yate. I say we. we were not supposed to bear the cost in the first place. But that could be this way. Former Minister of Health, Kwakwajima Menu Ada Roma. Or no nada Roma. Adia ye de be chow man free. Say koba say enkoye den. We ended up having to pay. But ye be chere sansem mu akiri. Ya kan ye ntie. But aban fofraba. O try and see. Say ye betimi asan kwasemu mu biemu a. Abro. Our politicians be di o man we. Ema o man na depa bi hwere yen. Anyway, but mame fa nko Guinea Bissau na yendo so sansem mu kakra because coup na esi enra no. Eye coup bia it appears very interesting. Guinea Bissau mampani eye Umaru Sisoko Embalo. Adie Bechiama Electoral Commission of Guinea Bissau edi ne election results ba betudwa ena soja fo ya to etie mu a omamma declaration of the results no krampo amma so na kampo bi ahu ne owi ne ye ne olusu ye na sene asoja fo ne kirekire wo mu nsemu
FM 98.9.
It's interesting. Cool leaders in say omo yesa cool way because national politicians be eye wo madwen say results na electoral commission they be ba enra no. In fact and then was anka results ne ba and enro ma yeku sa results na nkomo ba no na politicians be up planning say they will tamper with the results are the will of the people no enya de no eno de ba betudwa enti omo ye say omo besi ano kwan na the only way omo betimi de si asemu ya no kwan ne say omo ebeji tumi na free president ne nsem omo yi na free akonwa no so na omo restore what they call national security and public order. Don't forget, say Guinea Bissau mine ankasa almost survive, in fact, 10 attempted coups. 10 attempted coups. Mampenia what is to say CA, I think last year October or so, there was a failed coup attempt against him. And one would have thought, say, and no bemanka to restore confidence. Lo and behold, the failed attempted coup and are successful. Na nipa oilidi coup yi the head of the presidential guard. Near oda security for a president ne ho ban yodano odo no yes akuwe your friend no Dennis na kanha na tie the reasons o my o say politicians ne plan o mo fa yese anka election results na ba no o mo ebe sesa no omo e plan say omo be carry out our operation no na sa operation na nkomo be ne say omo be sesan results no sa operation no involved certain national politicians with the participation of well-known drug barons with both Guinea-Bissau nationals and foreigners. Near cool leader ne say ekeni. Or say to carry out this plan, an operational scheme had been put in place by certain national politicians with the participation of well-known drug barons with national and foreign, as well as attempt to manipulate the electoral results. The High Military Command for the Restoration of National Security and Public Order has decided to immediately remove the President of the Republic of Guinea-Bissau. Close until further notice all institutions of the Republic of Guinea-Bissau. Suspend until further notice the activities of all media outlets. Immediately suspend ongoing electoral processes and establish a curfew from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. Nyakuli dana semo kani. Ose, sa plan na politicians na hachi se omo de best san results no. Enye omo nko. Omo ne foreigners. Eni Guinea-Bissau for na abi. Ena a boss upon say omo be manipulate results no. Na the High Military Command for the Restoration of National Security and Public Order, which is, they say, regime a war Guinea-Bissau umudino no. The High Military Command for the Restoration of National Security and Public Order. Ahono sayansia to homame. Because of Sadia na epono mo boy so mo best sa election results ninti. Ena womo atuetiem. Na omo say omo intervention is one immediately omo yi President Sisoko Embalo efia konwa no so. Until further notice, omo close down all state institutions. On ku esunsun sanso ni bi. Omo close down all public institutions, state institutions. Omo sanso akwani mu akoka se media activities bia ekoso omo suspended. Ti radio stations nyina ya wo Guinea-Bissau de atutum. TV stations wo Guinea-Bissau ni nyina ya close ni down. Newspapers nya adwuma. State owned broadcaster pe ena soja for no use e de communicate. Omo wiye no na omo say election no ho na montuo nyina so omo bra until further notice. Curfew a da Guinea-Bissau so ene se anwumere no nkono nkoda anopa no nsia na wanyane. Na media asem wei matome bo a kirekire mu sei because of Yemen Ghana and the European Union boy koko say en democracy no yamo ho ban yi pa adentia ku no a ekoso ewo West Africa no edoso dodo na edoso a na wo se amamanya ka wo mo ebi nka wo mo begina yie. Now what makes Ghana a bit of a worry for the European Union is we share borders with countries ibia activities of terrorists and sujina and also den pa was ama inimu. Enti yenyina yie na yembo yen democracy no ho ban yie. Na hwasemo a soja for ni gina so de yes akui. Election dispute. Abatwa na Guinea-Bissau for kotoye no. Even before Electoral Commission this sunsanso ne beba no. Parties are lead no. The two front running parties no. Obi a claim victory. Na obi anso ya na adwen aka gu mframa mu se results na nko yi ama na nya de obagi atum. Munti asem ni yo. Soja for ne so mo tena ase o mu hunu se ne politicians ne ye wo mo politics no. Any woman sem kayene niema womo ye ahead of the declaration of the results no. Omuntimi ntenase emo ye ne mansa. Na ade ba ko be hye ne nso ogini bisa ne se eyo man bia drug trafficking edit ntiman wo ho pa. Because in Rubonia eko Europe edin Rubonia eko Latin America dodo na ho na efa enti drug trade ni gina ne na so, and some of these drug barons ewura politics ni mu ena omo de omo sika type politicians ni bi achi enti politicians ni bebre feel very powerful because they have drug money sponsoring the activities. Na soja for netina say no mu say the way a drug barons no sika na wura de ni mu no say omo inform na ensi fom a politicians ne can sponsor hoodlums and sponsor criminals and use anybody to disturb the nation. Ntomo to etiem. Oma electoral commission and fancy so na ma. Bibusa say, are there lessons for us, Ghana? Suehunu bi wa hama yen ana. Na no make asem bi say, yan man pani na be kan yo. So ono woni mpefe. So di Ghana hwammo wa mamuo no ho a. Ne ebesi akire nyina eyeku. Timampani John Mahama is guided by that. Inti waso ye ni obetimi aye bia to ensure say amanfo benya confidence wo politicians mu no mo anka say politicians infe enko ba bia nti yenyo mu sinchen ne emagi tumi. Eye me dese wo hunu ni saa na otua na mmon a ede saa confidence ne beba. Bada hane masem no asoja for na nsem omo ka ogini bisa ne say the conduct of national politicians threaten the security of the country. No mo ntena ho mo mining more because nkofo petumi and omo de drug sika sponsor wo mo ho treat your activities. Omo say there has been indiscipline and disorder ewo Guinea Bissau. Na sa disorderliness no omo mpene mane nkoso. Until they have decided to immediately remove the president. This is about the only coup in Africa yechi both opposition for ne abamu penny for. Anka normally coup sia omo mo abamu ne chichi wom. JJ Rawlings no acquire announcement GBC obi anko report no to the nearest police station. But we know they are arresting both government officials and opposition members because in the mind and understanding of the military no sa two politicians see and a one your mine basa wo Guinea Bissau. Yet your maya ene Galamsey a create a huge security crisis among. A create a huge environmental crisis the among. Ye nyina ye nim trite knowledge say Galamsey sika sponsor politics wo ma we mu pa. Obi enu obetime di ho achinye. And because Galamsey sika sponsor politicians inti mi ntu Galamsey no so sa. Guinea Bissau soldier for ne said drugs, any drug barons are your minor bosso, and a drug barons and a air control politicians no ewo Guinea Bissau. Na say a kodum pempen so a drug barons no and a woman pese omo mu nipa na se obi a omo kan obedi so emeye president. Until they have the omo mu ache no mo sponsor nkrofo. Because for some drug barons omo ne aban ni mu nkrofo ye adwuma enti enchiwom Omo ye ni omo pe. Ena for omo opposition so omo drug barons a omo sponsor omo a omo hope so omo nya tumi na omo beboa omo drug business na koso. It is the same storyline along this Galamsey fight. Yehe biribi ye. Ye nyina ye. Na kokobo na EU for dia boy no. Ye wo biribi ye ayenye. Because what makes it even worse is the fact that these Galamseyers have no fear for our military because politicians in the Taiwan wachi. Similarities bi ho no mu a yes say insuo eja to wo nyonko abadwusemu a no asensuo asi wudie ho ebinim krampo se wo de ankafa wo de nu nsuo de mu na eja ne mpantimi ansom matena radio iso akapen emra ahafo hwidie broni kroma asem ni si ye mekan say near politicians mu ye you are making security agencies very powerless and useless. Terabia buhune ye chesi asojafo okwa amanse ho a ahafo hwidiem a whole kennel leading 9 months near boni minimum police station yes mun jan krofo na nyesa ye be hye no na security fo kretu a ye treni wo mo ho dwom no ma jan krofo ma di boni a ya che wo mo because politicians ginam mekaye se muhwe ni yie na ade na nkodum pempenso a security for ne be feel say politicians na lose control obuntimi ma law and order enyina obuntimi hwe ma Galamsey ni nyai enti womo a betu asimu apiam politicians na shinchen to restore order and protect our water bodies yen hwe bribi yie. And this advisor obia wodo ne mind be ma ne mind wenye futu semu a biribi fufuro afei na meka weyen semu amperimfo bebre aka. Is Ghana listening and is Ghana ready to fix the mess and prevent us from going down the line of other West African countries? Kojo me mwahamu akwaba.
Bibi ya eja
pa.
Na be anything. Baby adru dey say futu a ode bai. Ene eja na ezan say odo man nti oda wonna. Ewiam bae na watwe pencil ne pen. Na trotro nko a. Ya na manfo adwunu yom say sebe radio su kasa na kasa trasa keke
pepese gu manim
wo munimu ntra
mi am ntwroye
wa wo ntwroye o enye obi na twreye wa na wa ye ohwehwe mu eno wa twre wo be twre a na wo de ehun entiase ana se mu ntiase no wo de aka asem de akyere won mo mutie ente ya ne nnafom sa na Ghana fo ne awifo no eto da ye mpe nokre wo ye mpe won mo be ka nokra de akyere Ebre bi etwa mu offer the Institute of Air Security. I think that they did a survey over West Africa. I remember very well the literature. Egusu wa me mai bi kra so. Omo kire mo se ohwe sa bre no se de na Boko Haram ama no homene so ewo Nigeria. Ohwe se de ye treaty asrafo ewo the West African sub-region. Ohwe se de ye security across the sub-region aye poros no they predicted say yanhwe ye na eniema bi wo ho aman panyimfo ahodo no antimi anso ano what has happened between 2022 and 2021 up until enra yi no emane nya ye nwanwa se be hunu and indeed they used the Burkina Faso as an example.
That's right.
And the Burkina Faso ko identity since 2022 Burkina Faso is being led by a military leader. Oko Malia, military leader. Oko Niger, a military leader. Oko Guinea, a military leader. Oko Guinea-Bissau, and Raya. Nandini Kran, almost Enta Naman.
Okay.
General
Enta Naman. Ana be kokbo odi ni say. You made me to Portuguese.
Enta Naman. General ya swear in.
Yeah.
Ya swear in.
Yeah.
Utie the reasons as uchirimu.
Yeah.
Entia omudi sa adwuma na omudi no a. It reflects over the years. Afro barometer. Ni nhwehwemu a wayo from 2021 up until 2024.
Yeah.
Uchirimu say Didie oba West African sub-region ha and also oba sub-Saharan Africa nipa womo ho amanya hodo no mu wo edema amanyofo no ekofem
Didie or politicians
ekofem yes Didie our politicians mu ekofem Didie our members of parliament to come rachebedwa ebi ha no case okay look parliament will have that oversight responsibility it when the executive is messing up omu nim some the parliamentar omu no mo ye omu dina ya na mu rachebedwa they will speak in our stead but over the years
omu party adwuma no
mo ye so the whip system is working along party lines but not for the interest of the ordinary Ghanaian not for the interest of the ordinary Guinea-Bissau nipa not for the interest of any Mali nipa bia omu enti and omu come rachebedwa that's not what was happening
Pesemin
kuminya omu ho and omu kwa kudidie and so if oye amanyoni na say some of these data eba abontene na say one sha etojewa one kasa odijiri
and entina me me de say the president we have today very conscious of that na dwene was sad there so and I was saying na namuntu reflect
yes
I was saying reflecting I was so making sure say na appointees and so to an more a restore confidence in the politician.
Yes. Meteo and Humanachimana Metia BBC some of the people Obinuma Omunya Kwenyane, some of these international outlets and didn't come up. Those who've lived in Guinea-Bissau before. They, some of them are happy.
Oh yes. I know they on the streets in Japan.
Some of them are very happy of what has transpired with Guinea-Bissau. But I'm saying, said you are boy a cocoon. You cocobo no boy and no much as a boy. And you for said your kind. And you some for some dada. And to say, oh, your man penny and I say, oh, yeah, a man yourself. A year or be my atoy fame one. Where ye di and crata to Montini. Your bow coqua. I hear tea. The air and say, oh, say. Eto be a woman tiesa obi wo ha open ade ayo wo hu enti eni no di kan ba bokoko obokoko anu akosha amanfo
echi no ma ba
be yo
eno so ho
because tienie how is it that a former president Guinea-Bissau ora Mbolo Sissoco now you two are there so the first person to go Macron the first person to call Macron.
So per allies or per support.
The first person to call Macron. You see, the West African sub-region, no, I shall say, enya enipa bia. Almost they want to do away with neo-colonialism. As to how they are doing it, I don't support any military coup any military intervention bia. But sa one more person yes idea no. Omo na nipa bebre no apesisi ya. Omo na nipa bebre no epesisi ya. Bibi,
kojo.
Yenya hweye.
Yenya hweye.
Yes.
Na
yenya hweye.
Ahweye no also Ghana for no so yafa.
Yes.
Because unim make kind the statement of the coup maker e Guinea-Bissau. Bibi a quite striking. Se coup si o man mu a enya political class nkunom ho kire wo mu.
David.
In fact, yenya yetima animu ordinary no.
Yeah.
Ye ho kire yem pa.
Of course.
And na me no wo kasai. Abo 4. So when I'm Guinea-Bissau by this time wa checkpoints ahodo na befem. Questions e bebusaw. Obi say name kura betimi am e detaining because politician be say name no what say. Yeah, kasa se because there is school in Guinea-Bissau. state and public institutions nyinaa ya close down.
Omo nya adwuma.
Enti wo per service bi enya de a wo benya. Wo nipa na atema ni mu ne bi aka wo. Enso nkodi sika ena wonko support wo bi a politician bi. Ya close down all state institutions. Nsem twerofo aye ne yenye opportunity ti radio so. Na yeti TV so. Na yede ye propaganda. Na yede defend krono entro any sebe mpredua sampanifo manimu ankwase asem. Na yadane ye ho politicians. Na ye politicians adwuma ne ye. Instead say ye be man for education. Ye be man for information. Nsem twerofo a okrom hadane politicians. Ena omo ye politicians adwuma. Ena dane atemdidie ye say nipa gu nipa ho fi twa intro park asiegu inframamu. Ene wo ku isi Guinea Bissau we. All media houses ya close down.
Of course,
this is the effect of coup. Enti se oti omanmu na politicians din semfun na omo ye niema erode confidence in politicians. Na omu tu anamo a etwe oman ne sign na wo se me dem NDC ni nti me dem nhunu nka me support sebe ne ekoso wo se me dem MPP ni ye ba power ye boni bi edi ye bia me support a ka hunu se ku ne ba wo na wo tifie na wo de support ma politicians no ebe kan akwaniasan bebiri so
oye ne yo
ahekra hospital kra no ye be limited the number of hospitals a ebe operate na samuto a be kire ba bia de befa na asem a ye ken ku asem a esi Guinea Bissau yi muzi akase Afrobarometer predict ye EU fo aka ho asem a ye Ghana hanso ye wo obi a onim security security wa kind of the past 4 years say Ghana yente heaven o na ne ekoso around us no ebetimi asi 4 years ago and started kan ye say many West African nations ebe experience coup maintain ne kakra
principles of democracy leaders ni be brain fanya dwuma no ya nhwe ni ya by the end of 2030 most of the West African countries will go back to military rule. Me kan yenye last year me kan labor free. If you say wo hwe se ni wiase ko ene mre dodo na mranto ano pese wo kyena nko ano otimi sesa niamem nsako na no onya phone papa onya baby partner onya ka papa dem na I to say competition bi abadodo na abrabom na efi nso adwuma nso ni ho na bedru baabi na hwe se ne amanyosem ho ko na obi benya position within 2 months 3 months no na hwe se ne wasesa ne lifestyle or spend ya sabi onwene ho enam tiska no sabi anya ne die ntino na saa ne man ketenkete ni nyina ekoso no bibisa ebetimi esi ntino ubusami a meka trust Ghana yente heaven opening Paul Boateng o kan sa asemi adwene me e wa homa no so Paul Boateng otime kan Happy FM su nemi mo ha
me Josuminia
wasama kan na ebe mu yo
asamne dia mi di kan no 2019 ton na enu free on na me say tema asemi goita ebe yeku no enu no I think Peace FM eja kwabran na interview me na me di kan wani tu ya Ghana aka sama ni ye di watam omu bi mpanyimfo bi anon fi so omu na omu kan was a bem omu tena radio so di my terms me do but I didn't mind them because them ni America enti me na nyam wanwa say sansense mo nyina esisi ndi ma kan say mo de by the end of 2030 no dodo na de me bo bebra me ti nyam wanwa kula
say about how many more countries in West Africa na ususu say sa nyama ni bi say or a hit ni betimi abo afa wo mo ho
o me pese me yes specific mark kan even though me bi atwa mo kan e kan even Guinea Bissau ade ama no kra me chire I don't know say bibi na ni me di nkomo chire mu say sanya Ghana asrafo ne wo ho an komo tu na gudada
ahe ya na kan no
Enti no dodo na enim se beba no de ye hwena no ya Cote d'Ivoire akora no esi ne ochena enyem nwa kyese ala tamam no de enu isi pe na kyerese de nkitemu ba oman mu betumi akyebe ye nan sene medical kan Ghana ye nte heaven henti no ye nyina so ye hwehwe ye ne mayie kyese West Africa de beba even Africa so ba bi bebre ho ya ku betumi East Africa betumi aba sa nti no West Africa mom na trend no ehu nti no aha no na was ye di ani ehwe ni ye pa.
But near quite significant in all of these schools francophone countries. No more anglophone no. No more anglophone countries. I say no yes na.
But anyema na two-way no. And shed down your differences, sir. Unse we ni esi omu ye Portugal for na dey colonize all.
Yeah.
Ana West Africa no countries are ye ka brofo no ye be a 9 Gambia, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Nigeria, Ghana, France
5 yeah.
What in America na. But cool in the eba no. Ebetimi esi ye mu bia so. If you say near man, no, ye, send your debia mecano, one for principles of democracy and yajuma. A jumani ho, not me mufunusu, smufusu, or a slav one bebem. O brasson, was a dear cunyano to was a dear 1 year there, one fan to and no a slav will beat me up them. But ne was ye tears and so say, cool the town, a woman who be brave. I don't know, say, ye this uncle. I think some repairman you bet me actually types of coup d'etats are.
Yeah, this sound common pain, and then we are seeing in some for your classroom.
Unse coup no, you are who do be brave. You're near friend military coup, civilian coup d'etat, and your hybrid one, and no dear, a name involve security for no police, civilian, and military for.
Okay.
I'm say, and chroma time, no, so I didn't be see.
Okay.
And your foreign coup d'etat, no, the foreigners and organizing normal support to individuals, no more to me. I cool. Civilian coup d'etat, and they are civilians, no, to my mufu money training to say Kabila, ye be a Congo,
yeah,
and no friendly civilian, and your palace school, no, a Kufudi too, a champion, on one in one, and your revolutionary coup, you will Lawrence,
yeah,
but a coup, yeah, as you know, Mimi dear. Minim die met term as a self coup d'etat na say autogop no ye Spanish forecaster as a self coup d'etat. I just say president na orchestrate is a coup d'etat. It is what's a senior man. Akonya meto so me yem analysis na coup na esi wo ho na president na or yes orchestration na coup na ba.
What ka say orchestrate na che say or can who be normal planning and I mean, tell
say, no, can be normal planning.
See, the plan is seeing to me, idea so.
Yeah, say, oh, yeah, analysis now. Never be blow what I mean to me and fan to ja. I wouldn't say Ghana for Asra for on board Hobine. Wouldn't say,
Ghana for soldier for Bogini Bisa president in Hobine.
I will honor. I think I will be Bayaku and Kabe bloody coup d'etat. Ananka president in Crans when yan on what me afraid say. Ye to me. What in the American as because when ya sa a coup attempts no be briaba, you say almost one. And you know, we no election no when you lose on person be fracumianso. Name also opposition leader and beba, maybe or better and any other day. And ya mean here Chirinamiam will be a trust and a name handy over man. A test ABC Fujimori time no Peru so Kaya. I don't know, so maybe I'll follow history. ABC. Take here, President Otis was a day.
The unsuccessful coup, a for a bridge soon.
I was shared Anna Chavez, Venezuela, and so shared that ye. And you know, we know, any the way many da West Africa. Say cool, cool, the enemy say basically about way the President in Ankasano or Chassis. Now, I am fair non to chain. Apart from sending a year cancer or chassis, cool no dear, sending a medical can. Democracy in Ankasano, GT amanfo wo mu no hu say topping tema ye report by say 35% of the participants are no mu di nkomo say omo mpe democracy no so abre no nkofo bebredi atem I know about 3 years ago me kai say sabre na mu me kwetena UTV na mka say we interview ni pattern wa Ashanti regional mo video so kra me kai emu 80 say omo de aba no kra no me kan bibisa so omo mpe democracy 2% per civilian emu 8% no so omo 80% no so omo person so saban. It was too early. I think first quarter of 2021 me kan UTV so na nkofo fin say media agro but sa na eko anana eniema na enka ebobo ba no saban na ansesa ke bia anya ne se anya daje a yedin komo system no nche da emmoasa na yede no nti aya mesu ne se na me yam hyehye ne se yemrant wan dodo na ekurekuratiu nti ya anya careful ne se gape be hage wo se course na yehye ni nyina no emrant wani nkuratuo a omo involve ba yede ne ya anya careful na etisimu a emrant wan no bebredo omo behim
small arms no doors ukrum
nti eno ne basa wa be ye MP already DC bi no with community ho no wa hadwen a owo sorry ya otem ni tua no oba wo so
but
eno ne ade a ehu pa
Paul me ehwa de na wo ka just a while ago a wo ka say bianca bayanse sanke bianca by now no bia da so tike afimu a yakolosu ye nyina edan bia bibia sinti pro ye nya kwan ndi nkomo ene yentimi nka se oman ni mu adwo tension aba fom krama ase ebufuo ne frustration na wo manfo mu dodo na no ene ekọ form and we appear to have a president oye minded by sa kusia ekokoswe na no ono ankasa na no muto se ogidi se ono ene the last hope for democracy se odi Ghana ehwamo wa mammuo no ho a wenim se na ebetimi asi akire eyeku. Are we not in a good place with that mindset of a president and the fact that aban se sign na man for nerves are calm ama tension wo krum nyina ba fom
when you di kan se aban anything am kan se nka ban na ansesa ke nim ne ebeko nti aban ni se sign bebre ebo atom yam nti NDC were good well. In fact, President Mahama goodwill now okuta sese no ano odin nti o manage ni year ebeboa
okay
ano ono anso nim ye betimi esi nti no ono angasa ato nanim tuo wo gidie se ehu ewo no mu ene saade nti na wose guide no na otimi egina so ye niema ese fata se ne be ya amanfo nsu no mo mfre ekurowurafo se omumra nti no wo hwe mu a sese no obia se o eye enche bebre de but obi obebo yewura mampanyin so bo pa no ne bia just usual
politics na
but goodwill a wo sese ano eye pa na ne ebe ha kakra but eno kra no manage ni yi a ebeboa ne ebe ha kakra eye 10 beda yen yehwehwe mu kire se bi pushi no eno na ya anye careful no a manage ni yi a eno no mempese mekam assembly ble mrepam a menya konya me ne yewura Mahama besia no efutu obi a mo me de bema no because goodwill ne wo ho but one manage ni yi a eno na de Ghana beko how
na say on that matter wedi kan me say what tete say nkofo push this agenda no no aba abontin beka say anya de obeko 2028 or respect to constitution no also a true democrat and onye ne edio aman bi akọ ku kwan so wonni ahotoso wo sa assurance ni mu
yeah politicians ne kasa o no President Mahama ya na ma Callisto's issue letter say obi abedi 60 years ekono
Kofi
ya mfa wadwuma bi IGP wedi sen
wedi 60
why standing the time ne sen
omanu 2 years
anti politicians omo kasa ye nhye dan nyi wo munni sa
tesa adwene betimi asesa
adwene betimi asesa ana ebedru ba bi kura no pressure na ebeba no kwali nie ebetimi abasa niema koyie na mepa obo atimi se niema koyie a on kokora ebe me ya me ko nanim kaka kire nse gewura
Sankobiem.
Aha, because we be a person in autonomy. Ana sebe se Ghana for do na jitum se yewura mahama. Ejuma wu ye die, wu ja to wa ebe ha dwenti to aso a. Ni enyina nim se no kwale ye be bo na chi dom amwakọ. Efi se edru ba bia oto aso a eboa. Ye nim se ne Gaddafi oye Libya. Ya me mentor Rollins. No more of years a wotena so. Bebre wo hono ma woto aso ye. Ba sani obe manage no woti ne amekere na se aha
se into aso ne nyina begina wo modern bo amamu ni mu
sa enti ne se adwa akro ene ekere ne nto aso aha ebetimi aba se sa abre goodwill no ho enti no bi e ka o ene part bedru ba bi no na the same nkofo na omo ka no no mo apa awachi yenim ne eto na kufu ado so enti no me de yen yegusu yen hwehwemu sese de no kwale ne se yesaka se yesan to abakra de a obenya more vote asen ni osenya ye aha enti no goodwill no ho but ya nhwene a address sa issue yi ya eno de Ghana beko enwia issue e betimi ha Ghana pa ye galamsey ni unemployment eno ni ade a e was wo hwene na chief chancy issue so aye hu
na o ka galamsey e na metwe adwen asi asem bi so one of my topics I mean my baby for treaty oboase community for ultimatum omo de abase omo ma ban ene Ashanti Gold 1 week say omo amom asase e wo mo concession so omo man kudidi so a ombetu omo hofo and we know the history to this matter. January I think 18th thereabout abanse san ye yaso in president emebunu bi fa wo mo tools say wo mo ko Ashanti Gold for concession so akodidi so aja wa wo kan ekrowura for etu kasa ya enipa ni bi wuye. Following that, President Mahama de Boshe bi by and I have the tape here eminti bi ana mentimi ambo ye no kasa wi amebo obehye omo say omo ne mining companies akese ne kasa na omo CD omo concession ni bi di ama wo omo na omo so adidi so omo so ma hwe animu a ensi na after 1 week omo anya asase na didi so dia they would advise themselves. This is coupled with instances who across the country are soldier for amansie echesi womo ya block kwanse momo ma broni kroma hafu hwidiem whole kennel ya holding no e pressure to police force criminals ayachu omyenya o mampampa yejai womo. And the fact that you have politicians are fuele sa galamsey nsemi on a scale of 0 to 10 in Pempenso man now say galamsey betima create such a big problem the Ghana.
Oh, galamsey ni dey say number 1 national security threat. Maka ho asem na wouldn't stand when it comes to galamsey. And Maka's approaches now aye ni nyina enye dwuma. So omo tie ne maka na enye dwuma na enye dwuma. I think it's my have indicated obi o follow me bia.
Yeah.
We say galamsey for no etu o mukuta no. Ehu and two political will ni ho. Mkware na me ka kiro because you can say two a me can say galamsey issue it is say Cote d'Ivoire Burkina Faso ni Togo omo combine no omo de omo armed forces so attack Ghana no entokwa be omo emu ahefo na eboa omo ko amefo ya aden yemu galamsey as national security threat number 1 enemy yen kanchre asrafo say moduma na asole ni dem nko ni de wada na 9 bo na hwan Vanguard researchers are yakọ esua de new security mu na can plain say what the asrafo ne other security agencies no combine your operation and time is successful yen function asrafo na nkasa nko ansa ni yen tax on ni hwe so mbegu on ani mu ase ya say political will no wa sa blinka wasi aye mra na de Ghana forest reserves ni nyina ahye asrafo nsa water bodies no ofe pra nkubla whatever awomu nyina no na navy fo yen function on sa because we Ghana forces for yen function on sa ni hwe so obi pu to say obetimi ahenta Now we dey also le an ya coffee ni pattern. Offer ni pattern now the tuition on that one community ma. On be there no matimi edi nkwe. And I want any mention na.
Wasam ni say yenye ni say galamsey ntokwa no enye politicians ne be leading ntokwa no
at all.
Yen kase Ghana Armed Forces your big national security crisis.
Eye kon na ye kon ye war.
Mo hwe kwan a mo be fa so mo be end galamsey without any politician.
Simple. Ni enfa enhye won sa ni enhwe. So obi benya kukuduro say wakote forest wo baabi a wo bla air force fo ho a wo betimi anante wiem ahu baabi a mote. Na ye mote ho na say mo nko na ye ja grenade be yensia gu na mo ho hyehye mo a. O kina say wo be kwa ase na wo ko be yare. Ana ne ebufu kura nso ne say wo mom ye galamsey no dodo na akra anya Ghana fo. Dodo kra anya Ghana fo. Dodo na even community na omunse omunsu omunse omoda achina nkasa kra no. Dodo say na wo community wo mo benefit.
But Obisubeka say we are in a democratic regime. We are not in a military regime. Or prescription when mu be no extreme to the extent that the international community may have issues with that.
Mamenka se mo nkyerɛ.
Mitiepa.
Ubetimi akɔ US. Okay, young fans say they in the US adopt to grand strategy say this time no be offensive. Omo ntena ho ma wo ma no mo defend name mo beto awukro no mo abe attack. Omo nye democratic state ana. Ebre a ebedru say wo kɔ hihia brem a wo ye wo ho hwie nye no. Ye de saa ne mani nyina to nkyɛn human rights sem wo ho anwan ne nyina de to nkyɛn na wo secure wo ho hwie. Saa bre ya Ghana ye wo ho hihia brem ebedru baabi. Insuo kura yenya binom makase ye ne Cote d'Ivoire afo ne Burkina afo ya hwe ebeku wo nsuo ho a ebedu baabi no omo ebewo mo kura no ye ntimi nkase nipa so mesi wo ye nipa ana ase wo ye musuo baabi a ensem no hawa eba no nti ye ntena ho nkotwe daban ansa ye nim se galamsey no eye national security threat no ade ye threat a de ne yeri ma no ye nkrokro no ade bia ye musuo ye ohawa ebese wo man no ye nyame pa achew enya amnesty sem eye force ani ye de tu nase because omo ba no so omo de tuo na eba omo galamsey fo na omo se be omo wo wura mu a omo aye no why de kuta tire auto
obi akuratu ne ma ne
na okuratu ya wunum tuo to say armed forces for na kokora mo amfele so obebu egu mu a ade nti na wo so de ofele say
odi asawa beta so. Na tio ade ba ko so ne se sojafo ya wo kase yenya adwuma yi momi president na no kan se wono de wodnan wo mo hwe wo ono onye security ni onye expert na otwen se wo mo betu nifo se baabi adu no kan yegum se omo fa se futuo ni maaya osusu se options owo no obe exhaust so ebia from the National Security Council a sojafo wo mu bie no ye nu ho.
Well, media me finsi atra ho. Me kasase obi a me ntumi ho but at least we num de medru.
Yeah.
Yatra ho, ya broso hwe near AC no. Ebe ha Ghana more than 50 years. Insuo na yese ne forest na yese no. Wo de hwe adwuma asem kora. Kan etete no wo fa fichire baabi a mitie sanse dunko sanse ye mfichire kokakra bi wakosa nsuo abenom ene manse ayenom ni nyina asai baabi eduaduane ene ye toduane o se pa no o my Ghana pese yetimi nya adwuma me emlant wa na agric sector any tourism industry mienu wei ne betimi dia create adwuma o my no ho nkyire won efi se ye nyina nim so obi asori a wodidi say ye kase ye obi be ye agric bi a obeye dwuma bi kura ye hia asase a e fa pa na ye kunya asase ne ye dia yesa adwuma mini a wotie na me kire no
mitie pa po
be bia ye konsla hwe ene boti force no ne boti kura ada force a miminim meka edi no ene galamsey fo tutu ho no nyina enti fa ye na dodo na be akoye ensla hwe no okwaye bi wo ho no obi timi fra brochire se me read history about this forest into me ba visit wo o e ba kra no wentimi nwura
ye tutumu nyina enti eno na wose ye hwe enti saa ewudi semu yi ba wo man so
near say, Yeshe, me, a make us at you, me feel ya travel cra, na debia me can say, at the secret too, wako, William Nasaka, chow ni mojeba. I was so fuck when you are saying, so me, mojanica, mojanica, no, actually, wako, no, me, ukro. Ni esi no, say be nesi. Enti ya wase, ye di bibia shasra for nensa. No mo stop galamsey for nentem ya. Omo free Burkina, Niger, no ni ade abegu ha no ma, omo di tuo ni alatafo ni we for no mugu ma omo kan. Yempam omo no omo ko ba bi omo di omo tuo no ba ni yengigi tuo no. Ni yengi asase, yengi ye ho, yensuo no ho nton. Ene Ghana nsuwa e wo ha nyina manfo pam omo afiri omo emu. Na be den o man na ye. Enti na nyade a ye nkwala asem. What you say? Na obi a wako soja mu kenne mu atimi ka se nyame na je no. Enya yere ho ma ye ya ye team o mani mu. Enti no enya de was a president di agro. Ne beboa ana maka. Ye ne sa wo de ye ma won bosumi mienu pe ne ye hwe. Si yensu na ni ntia.
Paul, meda wase ene ewie se waji pinie na oni edisa enkomo. But just before you go, Small Arms Commission share drive bi asese omo be retrieve small arms and I say itu ahodo ewo ankorankora nsemo na makai because obo so say ye krom ha no no se ne asigi ni bisa ade bisi ha ebe ye hu amayen because nkrofo bebre otuo sa approach every now and then Small Arms Commission used to yesere mu amu otu a mu amopese mo de ba no mo famra obi anchimo wo de opekra na obija tuo no to police for pro na no ne ko wo de bakra yembusa ba bia nya no eno ane se yaje sa approach na ye de gigi to afri nkofo nsem na effective ana
na so okra we di kan ka say every now and then effective for as kan use sa we
no say yemwie ye continuous process
enye adwuma na enye adwuma chana na maka kire mi Adam Bonanso wo kai say 2 years ago I don't know say monam ni ye inter me say adwuma ade ma me a ye pa mani beje eye say ye ma me tumi say me gituo sa say we maka because me wonim di a metimi agigituo strategy na omo faso no enye adwuma na enye adwuma chana ye hwehwe mu kire say ekura kese no kan efia hoduodu a emu nwotwe ubenya etuo wom yes
out of every 10 households emu 8
ubenya etuo wom
80%
obia pese obon ho ban obia so say ahwa wonam ba bi a amro ba bi a benefia ba attack no ne ade enti dodo na tututuo bobom ho ban bebre wo ho etuo wo because me de ko na me nua wo anfa anko me na me ntra no ochina fa be attack me
ene obi anfa anko enti ye be ne den
yo be ko nje bi owo mienu mi na sam approach ni nya dwuma anya de a me be tra fidie nso so na maka because so can omoni on be ya na said on be politicians no there sometimes no me a politician anyway but the way eniema no ekọ no we enya dwuma nya de be dwuma ko do na akra na totuo no man kofo
no politicians ya
na ntu fi so omo to say na dwuma ho sika say no me kura sa sophisticated weapons na kura omo
Paul me na wasibiem ye fa nkomo ni nsi ha e bekọ so edi nkomo na ya to adwene da bia
mini amdamase
Paul Boateng security analyst na he's with Africa Center for Security and Intelligence. Kwajo?
Baby.
Yeti hunie.
So
special.
Yes sir.
Yeti hunie.
Baby a bedroom so no. Baby am yem shemi ye ba ko no ketwa to.
Okay. Ma kwajo wie na yemra ho.
Said the Dana yana mekano. Obi biara obey na adwin say or say o man no adwapade. Ewo bra o man no man akwanya. I've always said that is stealing. That's it. See, oko amahudu obi so a there are areas that they call say restricted. ubo humpem ko ekokowura ho na se bibi yo ya bo eho ban ura ho na ye bo tuo na wu a obia muso obia because already we have indicated say eho ye restricted and you do not need anybody to tell you say untimi nkonko ye nea wo pe ewo but oman no mu no ya hyehyɛ mra ya ye mra hodo bebre no a ene atena ho ayenhwe ha ne emfo emra no enya adwuma menim say Minerals Commission ho menim say Environmental Protection Agency ho menim say other agencies are ombeboa me yetimi aboy environment no ban Forestry Commission ho but the point is that baby adina kwa akodru no kamia ese emra no ayahyehyɛ no entimi mmoaye meye nkuntia illegal small scale mining no never it will never help because ambra kronoano have been in existence but over the years these miscreants have decided tie asema meka no have decided almost sinkete so mbebu mbra ne so and because over the years they have had the backing of certain individuals in society and they continue to do that baby adru no yehia say ye kwa kofa EPA mbra yehia say ye ko ne kwa kofa Minerals Commission mbra yehia say ye kwa koye LI foforo to prohibit people from going into certain protected forests to go and mine yehia sa mbra ne bio what we need is a military action. And when he was when Urap or Boatin was speaking, Special was like, we are not in a military.
And I will repeat that.
No, hold on. Somebody is waging war against the state. Do you need a military regime to call on your military to go and defend the state? It means that you don't understand what you're talking about.
Ain't you know? Waging war. Mama brofu ye kese eye ka ye fansam kese hu ne area to minus amen yanko form when war be how many how many guns normal impounded yeah war ammunitions
what are you talking about? We are talking about war in terms of I'm talking about war in terms of one more messing kete almost say on my that's what I'm talking about.
Nyabotre me bufu obi abufu nyina ye passionate about the topic.
Yes.
His point is that
they are waging war against the state
because unsuo ne wonsase na yese no and he considers that as a war against the state.
Okay.
Enye se wo mu tete mo wa keso anase wo mu tutu bombo ne ade ha.
Good.
Baby,
from the premise that Papa na se because enye military
nyanto boase
mo no si preko
me can some no atia said you otire mu no when I say they are waging war listen to me carefully almost say nyanto boase almost say unsuo almost say wonsase ensuo ne nsase ne kabom emienya no baye so it means say to a larger extent enuane unya it means say enuaba unya nanka wode ko amanone unya say enuaba no emfa nko amanone unya nsuo when all of these are eniema no enni ho a how would the state be called a state?
National security
how would the state be called a nation?
Okay. Good. Now let me hear you.
Adwuma na omo ye no etia Ghana mra no one is saying say etia Ghana mra but when we begin to make it as if ebia adwuma no mama nkyerɛ wade me ma example so onim Jimmy wo de wo so friends in Dunkwa area onim Jimmy the river Jimmy all right good
and want to phone and madam
river Jimmy na need to say a black me boa already polluted it lead to nsuoba Dunkwa no fin main one tamana need to me point at now I am free Persus mining omo dustbin omo waste there no yeah and no yet the highest point of your friend is say at the end of the gold mercury no and no cranya mercury go cyanide na ye can say gum it lead to the mainstreams kotakwa me yard ye bi na obi ntiem ye pa from a different point takwa isu akese no de saa niam no gum eko Jimmy ebesi ne Jimmy ho
enye papa biem
good yɛmfa mem kasa galamsey yɛ ade papa galamsey ɛne anglo gold is nneɛma chemicals or to good jimi man be do film no compared to galamsey dehe pan say ade meba me somebody I say galamsey no we speak it as if most of us in Accra don't even know how the galamsey most of them is there illegal way or acquire nsase no and they are wrong. Most of them are small scale. Most of the small scales that are being owned, and yet galamsey is no owning. And we are not being honest to ourselves. That is why Matna several times I cases today. Said the entire intimate to Sadia National. Nipana or did Obiko Jina Hoya small scale no. What in Kaya? He's one of the biggest people in the land. From last year expose. And here fanana and somewhere according to lead to. Yes, let's be honest to ourselves. And you some politicians here. You some of Escafu won't cry. You really bet you come on. Let's not make it as if and alcohol. That is why I've always said, say, so who can suffer galamsey who treat it from the top. Because Accra hano ya Kumasi na ya tine two capitals two cities super no and you ruling on my way no do na are led to the galamsey ground. Galamsey ni bien obetianya boldness akoye forest reserve without having an authority from Accra, the biggest man there. Me matrasa areas no Sel Kropon hiawa your friend say was Sel Kropon hiawa Bogoso board here I have matrasa areas ni na. It is sometimes when we make it as if galamsey for obutegra ha ya no uni opa yanko Mineral Commission office yamfa coordinates.
Why someone say to ya soja phone gum say woman kun for galamsey mu a man ne to ntwa because omo mo share chire politicians. Yes, and your politicians want him for share rich men e okromo mo business owners like say bi share politicians big men e share it welcome your wasas so society pana no honi obesa kofa nkofo na. So what are you telling? Until me dey be am say we can have a case of sitting down. Okay. I have from them. Politicians no more. It doesn't work. Make sure what they are normal countries. That approach has no work. They make an. It has no work. Omo countries say yenye adwuma ni. Say it has no work. Na say na okay. Would him say maso so ka. Good, that is what I'm saying. Say the war against galamsey no. Entimi twa. Eno ntina me bia me ka say amafo hu ni say me wo but because nipa na ono timi di sika to asase kese no. Ono tia ono kura bi kura galamsey ground ono ko hoda ba wa employ go for na ye adwuma forest na ye di no opa ye metimi a dedicate me ho me kwa kofa coordinate no me wi a ye Mineral Commission office Accra ha minim nipa one of the biggest men there na ye fam na ye kwhwe nipa om din e da saa land ne so ene ho na di asase ne ma. So when you sit here and say we should shoot and kill, it is not a military word. We say it should be and your military word near far bomba near Kotuato. A friend say, a horse, Nipa win. What you say? Okay. And your way, sir, as your class say. What I'm saying is, until say, no, yeah, I am Fontina say. I am for one trust me. Otum for cratin. Me just I am for one trust is a master can be. I will see your nyabotre. Nyabotre ma wakasa. One trust wakasa me. Me galamsey da. Tie. Obi ani ho be oni app so ye galamsey. Yes. But dialogue a wo ka no. Say enti yembusa hemfo no say enka me ba. Say me the first me chest say me tu na say any kan fa coordinates you hear enka tell anyway so anyway oni galamsey. Na you need this is the concern, this is a certificate. You starting naming shame we are sanko mo be sanko for na. Me I don't believe in name and shame because Ghana ha you ferry. So why you kill someone on the land and the nipa no ro kita say. Person me te wase enyi gidi na you communicate nyabotre. I want to understand you. O prescription is say Semetiwasia. Yeah. You bet me a contokwe from Minerals Commission side. Yes. Me pese a sunny assemina kwe emotional. You bet me a contokwe from Minerals Commission side. Baby a mining e kosubia na baby a galamsey e kosubia. Yeah. yɛnkɔ pick coordinates no.
Yes.
Na yɛhwɛ nipa kora yɛde saa asase ne ma no.
Just license certificate.
Ɛno ane asase ne yɛde ma no.
Yes.
Yɛhwɛ nipa kora yɛde saa asase na ma no originally a nkɔfoɔ ɛtu galamsey wɔ so. Yes. Who the original owner Minerals Commission the man now we can begin the fight from there.
Yes.
Sana the same thing happening with the Wontumi case.
Yes.
Minerals Commission man of small scale mining license.
Yes.
Yaman no concession. Yet the allegation against him is say
or move
enye ono na O2 nemomo no what the amagalamsey for na omutu.
Good.
In this case, every asasi run you come say Wontumi akonta mining. And I akɔkye no.
And
they didn't go court. Into a person a yen take care then from the roots through Minerals Commission.
Good.
But Minerals Commission it krum ha. And now omu ni masasi bia omu diama out. Omu diama nkofo.
Yes.
And now omu ni baby nso a galamsey nso koso. That same Minerals Commission into an among.
It is because the government is not willing to force them
political will in here.
Good.
You better in your political will no.
Etina make a choice intimi ende
because political will
well na ka se ni ho. But o ka se yemfa bomb enku na etuo ko gina soro na yentungum. Yes, obetu ogum but bomb na wo koto no. So bi so bi tin fi be ntokwasi a how does the citizens get those things according to the contract?
Okay.
Nyanto boasie na tie ni ye say.
On no occasion
nobody's interest.
Me say wrap up on this topic.
Me I want Kojo to understand say.
Oh, there are some other issues.
Nobody's personal interest is above or should be placed above the interest of the state. That's point number one. See, I'm passionate about this because sometimes Okasa says the yenom ye ni baby galamsey wo 2000 2001 2002 na me space to space e wo kan ase nya fomai no yem nwi so fawa kokosia brem ye too gold. I've seen people who I've seen people who move from Takwa all the way from Takwa all the way from Pristia eba eye new abrem area obetu eye efumagudie. Look na fe onam kwan so na okọ new abremu a kwan nchen nyina na ya say ho. And so sometimes calm down. And you kwan what na ye yetu efumagudie. But the me can say yentimi mfa bibia na say fa interest. Fan supersede the interest of the state. The interest of the state is that we should protect our natural resources. These very same natural resources, and a month for being sink it to say, how can you tell me, say, somebody to me didn't say, and one year betu, and you think that person should be pardoned? That person has made up his mind, say, and ya dear obejai. And no young what to make say, young friend near and tenancy, near him for no young now on your day.
Okay.
On top of no sasa, no.
So in Koma Yedinano, at the heart of this, the politician.
Yeah.
And in this case, the politician no may man penny a fin. Because say Yanfani say MPP and NDC politicians are selfish. My so musiko mu pinti ensensu ensensase. Na ya man penny ono ye de oman no pempena de nyina hye ne nsa ye ho ban boy ye nsuo ye nsa ase na ebibia de hye ne nsa no ono so hu ade ne sen because utie man panin kasa da bia na mabru ni adwuma ye eno ani adwuma wo mo ye nti wo se ye koso hwe kwan bi e befa so ne omo akasa na ude TV
Galamsey was not a problem when gold was $2,000 per ounce. But today, gold is pushing $3,600 per ounce. And because of the lack of jobs, jobless growth for several decades, there are a lot of young people who are coming out of school who have no job work to do. And so for them, that is the only livelihood. And so we must not think just about chasing them all over the place without providing alternatives for them. Because the alternative is that they should stay home and starve or go out and do something deviant.
Until the President Kasasea clearly know why you're frustrated. Because
one side of the story.
Or the political backlash.
Yes.
me call hard on the people omo problem ni so mu ni adwuma ye be bo me so bo se me mpo adwuma ma omo we anso no mo ye osan so economic benefit a free mining ni moba na galam say nye problem some time ago because na gold bo form say gold bo akosoro nti so bi nyina ba besi ono mampani ni na so say wo ye de oman na hye won sa no say wo kasa say ya eden na de say ye ni abre say because wo ka say wo say omu ni adwuma ye we are ni omo livelihood but oman ni nyina so livelihood ni nsuo no omo say no
any reserves
oman ni nyina livelihood any asase na ye say no oman ni nyina livelihood any forest na ye say no enti as mampani between sa two evils yi de he na oba attack the kese ne de nkomo we nyina ba any how to prevent the military from thinking say politicians no lose control na omuntimi ma law and order enye adwuma wo man mu nti ya hwe ni ye bedu bribi no omo beka say adwuma no muhu so nti ye beje ne aye ni ye ba betu aban agu because soldier for ya politicians sumo omo kwe the same politicians ma soldier for na adwuma ye den ma wo mo nti bedu bribi no soldier for ne beka say look yem two politicians nyina ngu ne enje oman ni nsi wo na ye make sure say discipline about oman ni mu edu ha me no mienu ene yete ha ya no gba ye ma metima metena ha o nti say ye wo bibia wo se ka kire politicians na wo so mo ye na sa de ne ye be prevent ya that is what we ought to do but it appears to say politicians ni nyina de sa inkontonkran ne kwan yi
ene yes adwuma hwe
entity o say usuro say obekọ hard on galamsey na o hwe political fortunes any backlash in tia one day the soldiers will force it on you what I say one day ne wo ye no kokwasa and go the boy akosoro and one day ne wo prevent it from doing no they will force it on you edu hodo mu ani abeyes argument is say and we are not in a military regime we have the opportunity to stop it now we have the opportunity today anyway say mo comment one or two be on near course of parliament and then there've been some interesting developments in parliament speaker refer minority leader to the privileges committee na honorable Mahama Yarega and a cite the minority leader for contempt because Ghana ECOWAS members of parliament aye suma womo so monko enko representing no omukọ ye embarrassed ewo Abuja then e bae minority leader onka ECOWAS members of parliament no udin kan omubedu ho no not hodeda because of the presence any mentimi ho ase e course wo ho nti no yantimi answe Ghana delegation in Tomu bae na honorable Mahama Yarega ese minority leader ama Ghana ni magu ase because of Sadia na why into a citing for contempt and ne speaker I endorse Sadia na mampa wa refer the matter to the privileges committee na emrinti udi yentie we ni kakra bi na fe yensan emra eso ebi
this parliament resolution removing him from the delegation to the ECOWAS Parliament and actually going to Port Harcourt and attending the session, Mr. Speaker, he has clearly affronted the dignity and engaged in an act that constitutes an affront to the authority of this Parliament.
Okay, so ahona ade ni nyina hyase and the next speaker ruling ne bae. Now speaker ruling ne bae no, I think that this thing is not playing. Speaker ruling is say one majority leader ya adwen wa refer 702 the privileges committee. So the minority leader has been cited for contempt. Also in parliament, speaker den ruling about on the fate of Pandai Mrashibijani the Honorable Matthew Nyindam. Speaker said he will hold himself as MP until 1st December 2025, after which ultimate friend who MPBM. The minority caucus argument and say once Oma file processes to stay execution and appeal the ruling, I was a parliamentary train near appeals court at the Beba. Majority fonso say that now where should they continue here? Parliament is independent, the judiciary is independent. Say judiciary aye na dwuma wie. Now a several parliament are. The only thing parliament be yen say obedi embra ne hyehyeye so. What kai jachi kwesi? Quick thoughts on this matter na yenkwa homa no so.
Me try to tell. Minority leader in Nako Privileges Committee engo se hwe. Oh, engo si aga. Maka. I won't explain it. Maka. Number 2. Parliament as an independent arm of government.
Yeah.
Ewo omo nhihye. Omo mra omo di djuma.
Yeah.
Ewo mra chebuje fie. De aba ene de kansem.
Okay.
Enye de ye hwe animu se beba. De aba ne se omo court no annullify abatoɔ no ɛkɔ so ɛwɔ Pandai constituency no enti
imprempren
ɛno kra the court no ka sɛ the Owura Matthew Nyindam should stop holding himself as a member of parliament. Ɔmo 30 days ɔmo nkonkoto aba no bio ɛwɔ Pandai constituency. And so that ruling is clear as clear as anything. A sacrosanct. When you decide and some no kwa
because as clear as river dey sunam kai say
galamsey say no kafra kuze why
That's obey.
If we be serious,
very clear. Now, Speaker really said from 1st of December, Matthew Nyindam cannot hold himself as a member of parliament.
Now why from 1st?
Say it be 30 days, you know.
30 days they say for the election itself. Immediately, effectively immediately.
Onye member
of parliament. Inti ada niyaman up to 1st
effectively immediately.
And I am a town also sign niyaman free parliament.
I said court nika say the ruling will come out today.
But the directive so my
and they effectively immediately.
The ruling the
end. Say
no say a full judgment.
Omoko court no. Judge didn't ask him nyina to dwawie no. Odi na temu ne bae no. Ɛhɔ no anu na Owura Matthew Nyindam ono nso na lawyer for. A file for hold of a year execution. Stay of execution. And omo file for appeal of judge no ruling no. What you say? And the thinking is that I was a court no tena asem no so. That's the thinking of the minority in parliament. I was a court no tena asem no so. Na court no di na temu eba was asem no so. If the court brings na temu e was asem no so, Owura Matthew Nyindam will continue. That is if the court agrees say obetimi holding ho as a member of parliament. Obetimi attack so holding as a member of parliament.
Said in the case of
Akwatia Diano, of course. In the case of Jachi Kwesi.
Yes.
Minority no to the boy and simbu homu chimu kwa. That antics and tactics no cost no mumye nyai. And I'm surprised that you were embraning for who are leading the minority of parliament. So
politics in so count.
Mumye nyai sanko da grono na ye debe. Court na no disemaba. Atemu no. Say nipa no ntimi friend also a member of parliament. That's the ruling of the court. The parliament must respect the ruling of the court.
Well, media, one way or the other, they still have the right to say that.
To say train.
I say Emra testing Emra. Emra bien where was as yen testing.
I saw what testing Emra, so life must go on.
Good. You're testing any been here say 1 month. Your man say Omo Fantuaba. The same Emra no so no. You bet me a trigger baby who hold the argument here so you bet me a train for. That is why we have appeals court. Intinya say you can't say BBI one no. straight away you don't have a right. And almost see a man who say, also to me, a troco court say, a same way I did, you know. If you say the moon still a say, a few scored with your trust, there has been cases, sir.
But the point is that the point is that
the ruling of the court stays.
Appeals courts. Any ruling be on the matter, no, and the review of the decision.
Tuesday,
me patch say until say appeals court the review of assembly be no, there is a pending high court ruling.
Yeah,
and the pending high court ruling is that you can't hold yourself as an MP.
Yeah.
Question is say must Parliament respect sa high court ruling? You know, na ye papa ni free Parliament. Pending near appeals court in the Beba, and now Uncle Suntina Parliament, whilst we are still in appeals court.
Uncle Suntina say appeals court also in the judgment, Beba.
Dentina Kaza.
Yes.
Would that not be contempt of God?
No, say your friends are Quatiadian, ruling straight. And I'm file we and a court of appeal in the car say, Ubetia holding. Yes. It was there. Sanity.
Akwatia case, Akwatia case, processes were served on Parliament.
On January 2nd, the Koforidua High Court issued an interim injunction preventing Enes from being sworn in the as the MP elect for Akwatia. On January 6, 2025, the High Court upheld the injunction against him.
Yes.
Then on January 7, despite the court injunction, Kumi defied the order and participated in the election for the Speaker of Parliament.
Yes.
Did they respect that?
Did they respect it?
Yeah. Did they respect?
They didn't.
Maybe. Good. First of all,
no.
Asama Woken.
Yes.
A Kotia minority now.
Maybe.
They had a position on Kumi. Say, in spite of injunction na edano so no. Womo be support to say onko suntina Parliament ho.
Yes. Just like Jechikwesen. Kumi kura the at a point. You can soon be free Parliament.
So the minority has been consistent on that.
Yes.
I mean, your own argument now is the same argument they made for NS Kumi.
Yes. So and then Friday till Friday.
But you saw the consequences.
Oh yes.
After court to know edu contempt injunction na semuni wie no. Na for ye na chene because wabumra so.
Yes. And then omudu July 7th up until July 7th of Freeman. June 11th. The Supreme Court quashed the contempt convention, overturning the contempt charges.
Yeah.
And warrant thereby clearing Kumi to serve as the MP. What did they make?
So argument in say anka oyinu hu free Parliament.
Yes.
And anko kokon nko court
mo.
So vindication there by actually would have still taken him back to Parliament.
Yes. Yes.
Enti the minority you can say Yanko sa Nina Monko Sontina Parliament until say appeals court in Ibewi.
That is the issue.
Now appeals court in Usukowe na appeals court to know any Tamale High Court to know ya Guinea. Now for the period he has been in Parliament, you know, we bet me a no illegal now.
Oh yeah. Obisubeti are trying of course illegal. It was illegal. No. Judge question in the NIA saying. Even he was there, he was asked, say he's not part of us, but he was meant to sit down. We a different first entity. Young guys are Parliament, no, or also on the jurisdiction,
or also an independent.
Yes, just like say Ubako to say military, as MCA, you pronounce will be so be a military officer. It didn't care say more.
Court martial, or formal call regular.
Yes, no one dealing with, or movie or move Phyllis and final call regular quarter. So the Parliament also must deal with the situation first. My fan said because
the speaker ruling, no one is saying
it was the best.
But I thought your argument was that Ninam should stay in Parliament.
No, speaker ruling on what? On your friends, we ask them now.
On Pandai.
Oh, for me,
I feel that
there was no make your friends. I think you that's some now can there.
And one year came.
So your fan privileges we nana.
Oh, them say no, they are can we? You can't.
Maybe there me no crowd no speaker na some no kind. I am seeing it say and ni nyina akwa to say. You know naturally politics. And of course, on also your majority.
My mama for coin because I can say I'm moving with the day free which is actually so many animal in this NPP for so aba you better see some no na edin come. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Pacho dini baby afrifi.
Yeah, baby.
Yes, sir. Me pacho me te unkapa.
This is Frederick from Boga.
From Angloga.
Yes, my brother. How are you, bro?
I'm good. Let me hear you.
Bibi, you see, majority they are just disgracing themselves.
How so?
You pack bunch of MPs at your side. Why they cannot even debate in parliament? They cannot even construct, contribute and add a debate or knowledge to the government of today for the development of this country. And it's the minority that is doing that. Minority has been consistently adding ideas to the government, scrutinizing the government. And we, Ghanaians, are watching both sides. If not because of minority, we all know this is the cause of sanitary part that NDC is trying to tobo and put the remaining money into their pocket.
I haven't discussed the cost of sanitary pads. Let's stay on my issues.
I'm coming. It's just listen.
Okay.
So you just take it. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is that those are they cannot stand the pressure of minority. That is why the majority leader Muhammad Yarega is trying to, play propaganda or smart on Aponyomaki, because Aponyomaki is a whole institution in parliament. Because the pressure coming from Aponyo and his members,
okay,
they cannot stand the heat. That is why they are finding different means of way to which hand the minority in parliament, but it won't hold. Either they are targeting Aponyomaki to be removed. The thing is, when is it the first time that they are holding ECOWAS parliament meetings? That even after my cross-check room, minority are always part of that meeting. So why the only NDC is trying to remove the minority leader from that section? That is what we are asking for. And I know Aponyo will also go and meet the disciplinary committee. He's also a lawyer.
Okay.
And I know Aponyo will go and prove the law to them.
It is actually the privileges committee. So let's leave it here.
Privileges committee.
Yeah,
very well.
Let me bring in someone else. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Pachodini baby afrifi.
The mouthpiece of my center, baby.
Sakura Yanko.
Now this for the MC, Honorable Cancer. Baby. Sometimes, of my more, minority of followers, Ghana, during MPP times, Nama Biblia Kosu, Yakasa, Yetu about Yam. Emisafina, Omuhuse, Omaya Foods. This current government is by 10 months, for 1 year. When you corrupted kids, Baku and Papa, the current government, no one who can stop the check. After no much over on Imra, I did all year and I didn't call privilege committee. I don't have no matter if I end this soon. And I will my moha. You will send a security, MPF, Eddie Fasu. And then the same thing at Adamo, almost Tiba, almost Dida. Maybe as if NPP behave as if maybe they behave like we have first class citizens. Who say the parliament? Speaker, Makwe, Eruli, cases, the same thing, and then cases should be Abba. The Kasa almost say Tisa. As if we have first class citizens in Ghana. That is the right to be the same year. Why they are behaving so?
Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Okay, I think I'll move on to this line. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Good evening.
Pachodini baby Afrifi.
As a friend George, the Casafi Dakoma.
George, Garnet you.
Pacho, once a man and a woman, they can be. You should take politics out of everything. Mayan dealing with assets that you know. Galamsi as some of your king. Say me, I'm not a many one day. Name to come at them. Miniska Makoto in Suna, me see me kobuta panom. Na mi bu isu ni wi ambe no no wa akwensi na Mr. BP no say hey man no not knowing isu na me ben no no say na eni brown pa na kan ben no no
oh
say kanya ono no be pie ho no mo a because of me miska mi koto isu na kan me dum sansi no
eh
nti ya monje politics tin nyamem because ono no we ni nti say ade ni nya obetinya atwe no ho afi na yemo ye ho ade na disability ni nyama no aya omo ya bia omo ndwen ye ho kakra because am na da ho ade ni nya wono be ho abatra na yemo so e nte ya omo ndwen back down kakra na oma no enya omo nko na ya omo dia because I can make a disability common for me apply bi and omo man to full machine na me so wo dia sampa Intina me wo me TV ni nyama bi na me si o se na be ya me fa be koma no nti me ton TV ni na me de rent container ena me de fufu machine ni sim se be ye adwuma ade o mo de ma me enye o it's not working isi amoto na si ade na anye adwuma just a single day rent na so aso ni fu na si to me I'm now thinking of how to get money to pay me from catch on the machine no mo de ma me enye adwuma o mo se hwi ni o don betini aye.
Oh, how?
Yes, I'm not telling you, Yama. A journal, so I'm as few as to
say, who say machine in your Juma de buy and I was Sanka Muyawe.
But I say,
who say machine what the buy in your Jumana, no Sanka Sanko.
Machine in your Jumano.
Or Sanka deco.
My friend, the captain is a machine in your Juma. I think she knew a bit Nayabium. On my messiah machine put piano moko, baby, cotton or crano. Nippon, she know bit Nayabium.
Yes, see.
You know, I'm even thinking of how to pay because the contract that I used to work.
You could have gone to the police station with this matter.
That I should have gone to where?
I was on Kadiko police station. I could talk machine for fro. I was on the police station. I could talk machine for fro. Machine in your juma. Nipa no so once somehow. It could was what day?
Me apply common fund on the mommy. Na enye juma na mkata mdam de ma me enye
okay ena nipa no so won sesama
ya almost if you know betimi aye o apply am de ma wa no anu if you know betimi aye afa ho biom
o district ben
no Okanko South
na no sanka ko
and we are na friend to me nya me no kase kwa me ba so ni hu ade o the Benny one year, so we both sleep in that same container.
When no Benny money
yes, the landlord is giving second now. So I'm imagining say all permanents you see an minions get just 1,500 million to permanent. Now Akolada the new one, don't know 9 years, not the new one. How are we going to survive? Not that my dream is here. The more ya the more dream. You see, I know. A quality school by me struggling to go to school for the blind. So if you want to why are we going to sleep? Because a lot of the second us we should pay the rent of 1,500. I don't have. My friend was saying, I see no the man, and I'm to tell when you're mother rent here and I had that on. I'm not sure no bet my I found you.
We'll call you back.
So the kind of situation you womb. So it's quite to a point I want to even to do that back to myself and I'm saying the small boy never had no.
Baby, we are named Obenya. Obi Timi this 60 years, I feel any sikaba. Why? We'll get back to you. I'm taking your number right now. Now you didn't come after here. Why? Okay. What's the dinner then?
So they should think about us.
What's the dinner then?
From
George. Okay.
They should think about us.
Because
I don't know when you cannot show. If you needed an issue on your candidacy, I don't think so.
George, thank you. We'll get back to you. Don't worry. Hello, good evening.
Fine evening.
Patch my radio no call for Miss Row. One doom radio na me you afi so.
Epacho medum no.
Wodi ni baby afrefi.
We yo nwa bere ma ofie me fefi so home.
Ofie still noise ni wo mu.
Pacho say.
Undum radio ni ye.
Okay, Pacho
Enkasa.
Yo, mame mo wa baso yo pa wodi.
Me da say.
Na me chi ona buba chiampo. Incoming president for 2028. Me nya bere ma. Ene mo ka se bebre. Na so mo ka say very important pa. So you share a galance in same year. This is yet atese e o man mu hanoma. Eye o man pe hine da do twemu na do kufu. Ne du sana galance na tefa. Ma eno odine konwa kwa de e de to so. Nanso sabio ye nia nipa pe e na ne say de e ka. Na ene Mahama Bay okay so no some of this state of emergency de to eye galance so. Ene papa sa be gina wo se emebu no wo mu ni adwuma ye nti no se eba se ye pamo mu nyina how are they going to survive ti be se bi sa obapahini Mahama se sikalam say no wo mu di se ye nsuo no so eye ne fa na hwede bi am ka so ye amanyofo mu di ye nim no wo ma no mu se wo ma no ema ye ngo dey ti am ka sa e chan se ne ebe job for boys wo mu di akoma galamsey se wo mu koye se adwuma no na ka soja fo a wo cooperation na ka timamofo otum ko do won say wo ma won kwan e ma adwuma pese wo ye no wo mo ye fa stop galamsey no it is say na mo ka say na security threat no ya hu papa say ya mompai na say ya nya obi obetumi de ne ho asi wo say obeko ye te galamsey na obedu baabi no ebe jinsem biom aye me nua berema aye afenyo market so no na sem no me am jim di say akwai se na bubu okoto na pre na otume de onka wo no e san se isi ano minority e wo parliament wo no afima ke so di anim no no kwasem ni oye juma papa eti me hu say di friend wadwe say so mutumi capture na so me break FBP parliamentary na parliamentary na wo parliament no metre eno enye fe eti wo mo hye na se bi so mo de emrato no one fanto Sadia Ghana yanko enu mudda nya bere ma obitu aso
ofie me da se me fa two more calls na me dey see. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Okay, me fa this one. Okay, hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Yes, I'm down.
Yes, sir.
Just to touch President Santo.
Touching Ghana to yanko.
What the menka?
What them pa?
I am Patana me say. I'm this no prano. Dear no more dear. MP for what so munya MP saying. What they had a quality of debate here or but the MPP for me. One more become one of Mama President Mahamed Mebumano. When you now, what more obedient. Martinam, and that's what Obama come. Estella, Munam, one and two to say. Oh, people are open money, which you mumano. Amunja no more papa no mumana. They say, Krona, I want you. Yahuti, almost at the Tatnaho, or Mumpa initiative Papa Biama. Not 8 years and I so said 4 years as no master. The best represent Mahama. I'm your man, of course, on the annual day. Omunja no Mumia, you know, Yakun Toya. I didn't know you. And they say, who can I hear parliament? Na ye best my media see. Bye bye.
Me da se me fa course ni biem.
EpaHoaDaben ti sinupi na nokre eye baako pe.
This judge who knows that when matters close and he's fixed a date for judgment, no matter what, he's supposed to deliver a judgment, decided to stay away from determining the matter because a party has decided belatedly to file a notice of withdrawal of the case. Yet, in a development that defies ordinary legal reasoning, the High Court issued an order directing a full rerun of the entire Pandai parliamentary election, covering all 152 polling stations, to be completed within 30 days. As if this judge is not aware of the Supreme Court decision in the Akufo-Addo and others versus John Dramani Mahama and others in the 2012 presidential petition. The sad part of it is that the NDC candidate and his supporters were aware of the judgment before the day, to the extent that on the day of the said judgment, the regional minister led a team of NDC party faithfuls into the courtroom, anticipating the expected result. The result that they were going to have judgment in their favor. The judge, who spent minutes, walked out of the courtroom claiming that his judgment will be ready on Friday. Meanwhile, in less than 24 hours, a court order was being served on Parliament and Honorable Nyindam. What kind of kangaroo judicial system
Happy FM 98.9.
The judiciary must know that their actions and inactions to serve the interests of whoever their paymaster is has the tendency of destroying our peaceful republic. We will not mince words. They can conspire to call us one by one for a so-called contempt of court. We are criticizing their shameful conduct. We are not afraid. We are ready to be in Nsawam for their so-called contempt. The world will see their disgraceful conduct. We will not sit aloof and allow them to undermine the very rule of law that they are supposed to protect. How can a judge who calls himself a judge sit in court and misconduct himself in such a manner and expect the country to be quiet?
That the Honorable Afenyo-Markin be put in his proper place. Mr. Speaker, I therefore rise pursuant to the relevant orders to make a complaint of contempt of Parliament and a breach of parliamentary privilege, and to urge you, pursuant to the appropriate orders, to refer the Honorable Afenyo-Markin Alexander Kwamina to the Privileges Committee for him to be processed. And if indeed the committee comes to a conclusion that my contention that he indeed went and attended the session in clear defiance of our resolution, and that that act constitutes an affront to the authority of this House, that the appropriate sanctions be executed in relation to the Honorable Alexander Kwamina Afenyo-Markin.
Your property holds the power to transform your future. Welcome to Eclipse Collateral Management, the game changer in turning property documents into profits. We are not just another service. We are your partner in unlocking sustainable income and fueling business growth. With prime brokerage, collateral brokerage, credit brokerage, and land documents perfection, we are redefining what is possible for property owners and business owners alike. At Eclipse, we have built a primary depository platform, a secure, innovative space where property property owners like you can lodge your documents and earn risk-free, sustainable income. For businesses struggling to secure funding, we provide collateral solutions you need to thrive and grow. Every move we make is backed by a rigorous credit appraisal process, so you know you are in safe hands. Find us at Adenta Barrier near Medi Moses Hospital, beside the West African Senior High School wall. Call 054-383-2466 today. At Eclipse Collateral Management, for property owners, we say think safety and decent income. And for business owners, we say think funding before projects.
Hey, Kofi. Let me amount countryman. About the Dano year. Abra which are just 1,000 Ghana cedis. Me a one ya.
Oyo yinkonya.
Wait see. Me a Happy FM Valentine Mass Wedding 2026.
Sa dwumadie no a ye hoahoa wo se oye odehye niema koda ahogye kese na yesan ema manfo di wakire se de oye celebrity no.
Wetwa. Be fie duonini. Ane de aka odo ho asema. Ye ka warefo bebra bom.
Ntizesi anu de me mpra no miensa no ba.
Debi Kofi. Oba baako, bema baako, odo baako.
Happy FM Valentine Mass Wedding. Well love meet affordability. Our warrior on another level. Don't know.
Before registration forms, our Happy FM asalam down.
So person so yasenia, obetimi afrete for home 0244 906 235 and I say 0302 254 858. Mamen kai wo sen hye kakra wo.
Welcome back. Happy 98.9 FM. EpaHoaDaben Jumedie Enie. With me in the studio, Enyumre Holali Agbemava, or a member of the NDC Communications Bureau, and also with the Dom Kwabenya constituency of the NDC. Enimu Paul Ntwamuako and Subabe joining member of the MPP Comms team. Holali, good evening.
Good evening.
Nokode.
I'm Yadum. Akrakra.
Edenyamiase. And they're packed. All the topics are very juicy as well. There's school in Guinea-Bissau lessons for us, and there are issues coming from Parliament. Contempt case against the minority leader, Honorable Matthew Nyindam, Speaker the verdict Aba, and all the politics around that matter and other related issues. Let me hear you out on these matters now. Minti your thoughts. Encourage for so say yeton suffer MPP na omo rep no na embedu ye nti say one ti omonka. That is what it is, bro.
Senior Mamincha, happy to for you in
You'll be ajo so
your good self and your production team. And the NDC for word of Republic na Michobia. Ichai Mahama, near Mami, Vice President, Professor J. Nanopo.
EpaHoaDaben.
Pioneer boss and Yami Nkoso, a mom who buying.
Yeah.
A mama who didn't say, yeah, Jumano, yeah, just small mine, Bedimu,
yeah,
now, in some faso. Guinea-Bissau. Any lessons learned? Of course, yes. I mean, so Ghana is fast becoming an oasis of, peace in the sub-region. In fact, I even dare say, in the entire, African continent.
I don't know what's a me,
it comes with, of course, advantages and disadvantages because Obibia or Babia, Tabu, Basabasa, Ecoso, we any pet or the tre, Ghana, they'll be coming to seek asylum and all that. So it's not a good situation for other brothers on the continent. But yeah, mechanism, most of the things happening are avoidable.
Yeah.
Political, positions are transient. Indeed, they are willed to you by the people for a certain period to serve them. I mean, in this part of our world, it's and it is something we need to seriously watch out for. That's why personally, I mean, those who are calling for a third term for Yera, John Dramani Mahama, I completely disagree with them, regardless of who you are.
Yeah.
Yera has made it very clear that he's in his legacy term. It will be a serious indictment on Yera Mahama and the NDC party I know and serve for us not to be able to put anybody in the place of Mahama when he exits in the next 3 years. Just say, and if we should get to that point, I do not think that the NDC will be in any position, to lay or make any claims to be, the most formidable party in this country. You can't produce somebody else to replace Ira John Dramani Mahama. And then it will even be an indictment on Ira.
Yeah.
Because the mark of every true leader is that even in your absence, because
yeah. And that's the biggest legacy.
Exactly the point. So all those who are making, those calls, and Ira must go for a third term and all those things, they are blowing hot air. They should avert their minds to what's happening in the sub-region, in the other countries. Sadly, we are. O time as soon as corner or some Yanko, Yanfanko Parliament, Parliament in San your majority of honor, Yanani, running Nisa Bay, Yabama Quas and go, Obian Kubium. It's an indictment on the NDC and Yera John Mahama, if that should ever happen. Because, I can give you 4 tickets. 1, 2, 3, 4 tickets. And your individuals in poll, 4 tickets. So I'm talking about some 8 human beings who can easily replace
candidate and running.
Yeah. Who can easily replace, Ira John Mahama, Niyamame, Prof. Very easily in the NDC. Very, very young, fresh. You get my point?
Yeah.
So let's see what is happening elsewhere. For me, I'll forever be against any third term. Ira John Mahama na say, look, he's in his legacy time. And I know why. The kind of things we saw him do before he left office in 2016. He barely had 3 and, a few months. Because majority of the time, from January to August, he was in court. His presidency was being contested in court. But with that 3 years and a few months, it is the reason Ghanaians brought him back. So he doesn't need several years to be president. No. The mark of a good leader, or will come and even do better than he will do. Why? Jesus Christ our Lord.
Yeah.
He said it in the Bible. One can. Okay. So although ni obeba no wonichi no oba be she Christopher din se be ya edwuma e wo hono mo no de ono be ye kra no saafo na ebe nichi no oma be edwuma kra ache no Jesus Christ.
Yesu kra ye edwuma ja ho mo bi beto aso.
So let's be clear in our minds. Already we are having a funny situation around. Of course, what's happening in Nigeria and all those kind of things. Almost all move you no don't go down south to Nigeria. You should be worrying for us. Or say security wise, so basically for me that's it on the coup in Guinea-Bissau and the lessons we should learn from it. The call for a third term agenda and a tinkering of the constitution. So it is not going to be in anybody's interest for that thing to happen in this country. I'm a member of the NDC and I'm saying that it will be an indictment on us. We will not be the party we are if we succumb to that thing. Because you will need power party no more. They will be able to work. So that's it.
And look, if that agenda is pushed very hard, it can create a serious internal problem for the NDC. Because there are people in the NDC like you who would not allow it to happen.
It will not happen. And I'm saying it.
And there are people who are more interested, the president.
Yes. Because we know ultimately, look, we don't just look within the party. Yeah. The NDC is just a vehicle to access power to serve the people.
Yeah.
So if I mean, we look, we don't have that right to behave in that manner at all.
Ghana is bigger than any party.
That is the whole idea.
Yeah.
I'm older than the NDC. I'm older than the NDC.
Yeah.
But I'm some NDC party. Yeah. One thing we should get clear is that everything we do should be in the interest of a minor. In the end, this third term thing that we are calling for, it has happened in other countries. What was the result? Do you want that over here? And for me, it is completely needless. It has absolutely nothing to do with, partisan politics at all. The NDC is well capable. You won't and the NDC will continue to be in power. That's where the focus should be. So, he has even 3 more years. Yeah. yɛnhwɛ ne nyinaa yɛmmoa yɛ ho ano na yɛmboa no na ɔnyɛ adwuma no na adwuma no nyɛ den ɛnyi yie nyina yie. It is through our hard work and the support we give him, whatever we are going to achieve in the next 3 years, it won't matter who succeeds him. Nepa ne ba almost bayadi because it will mean say ya jumana could do baby so whoever takes over from him is also going to perform marvelously. That is how we should be thinking as a party and as a nation. Tinkering with the constitution and all those kind of things. No. And when why others have done it. Just close by Ivory Coast for yeah. And others.
The time was showing of course it's a constitution.
Exactly. And then they are there dancing around civil war. They don't know what's going to happen to them. Ghana, they are not going to go that way. We love our peace.
Yeah.
Now, let me catch you. So, I mean, we're having some arguments about why it looks like everybody around us is misbehaving, but Ghana, and I've told the person Ghana. Hey, papa yepe. Because we love to enjoy life. Exactly. Yasumdwa yenya no.
Say be kokotina kwan ho ne
Come on.
We are go baby ada. Because I know they tell hot so.
Yes, exactly the point.
Now who are we be? Ya sama curfew share them.
Hey,
e dey na obedi.
Who pay it me bow to.
E dey na obedi.
You try safe.
One call Cantaman to uncle hockey undidi. Na curfew aba because of coup.
Menim say nyama na ya in war ravaged countries no TV so no binim say Ghana for say cartoon say I say who I didn't say cartoon
Oman ayaji refugees be brave. We still take some of these things.
Charlie
anyway young parliament.
Yes, parliament. So Apenyo and I mean the reference to
the privileges
committee. Of course parliament is governed by rules. It's one of the biggest arms of government also. Na baby am right adwuma wo bia no. So you say kwan when you first why ade. Na won kwan wo say wo de open na be ya. Eventually the man will catch up with you. And that's exactly what's happened to Apenyo. Very unfortunate. I think he's been well above and over himself, for some time now. Even before the elections, you remember what he did? He forced Parliament to reconvene, when they were on recess preparing for the elections.
But that is within his rights.
Well, definitely. But when that was done, in fact, they had to organize a conference center because at the time, they had no access to exactly. They say, I think it was with regards to some tax exemptions, something they urgently needed to pass and all that. Not conform by, but because of his, personal or self-worth of being reduced to, a minority leader when he believes he was the majority leader and all that, he led his people to walk out of a parliamentary sitting that he had requested to be convened. So I didn't see a home. And I told myself that, look, this guy has just led the MPP into a serious ditch. We knew they were going to lose the elections in December, but at the end of it had just dampened their chances. Because it was a clear affront. I said, because of his personal majority that move from a minority. Until he leads an entire caucus to walk out on a sitting that they had called for. From that point, that Apenyo is still leading, the MPP caucus in parliament, now the minority. I don't know. I was speaking with someone yesterday who quite close to him.
Okay.
I'm like, this guy, yes, not here. Maybe the pressure is weighing too much on his shoulders because they are in opposition and this is the worst number they've been able to put together in parliament. They feel the need to do more. But I say pressure no talk.
But it means to say he's really doing the work of a minority leader with that kind of number.
Not noise.
Because with that number, they are making the headlines. They are getting you guys talking.
Yeah.
And sometimes Omokrana dictated the pace of argument because of the way Omoyom argument. It be said he's been very effective in opposition.
Those who are saying that are not paying attention to what he's doing.
Okay. What are they missing?
They be honest, all core privileges committee. And this is some of the things they are missing. what is the level of impact with regards to most of the things that they are opposing from government? Because to a large extent, that's what they are doing. They will have a counter to it. It could be a counter argument, which they may think, is superior to the Abani. Yeah. There's no problem with that. That's why they're in parliament. So, and they're in the Juma wedding all year. But we saw Bagbin when he was leading the minority. We saw Haruna and all those kind of things.
Style. You can't say so.
So the style must be to a certain effect. On the style, no, is always bringing him issues and problems.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's what he wants to do.
Bagbin and Haruna, did they have this kind of number, leading this small number?
Oh, no, the number wasn't so small anyway.
Exactly.
But then, yes. I mean, the smaller the number, the better.
The times are different.
Yeah, I'm saying that even the smaller the number, the easier it is to manage them. And if you want to really make any serious impact, they should invest more time into alternative, policies and and all that. Number no show, but they have some very fine gentlemen in there. I can mention all the name. Opon Krumah and all of them. Those guys are still there. So people who can make very constructive, contributions on the floor of parliament. I think that's where they should be concentrating more on, instead of the whole Apenyo showmanship thing. Akoya said he's the star of he's the leader. Yeah. But if you
everything revolves around
if you reduce leadership to showmanship, you begin to have some of the problems he's having right now. And to be honest with you, I think he can do better. At a point, he was even fast becoming a nuisance. I said, Bibiano na or per se to a certain level and all those kind of things. We are expecting very constructive alternative policies from them. That's what we are doing. Party party no do ehia no chain. Nyama mbeye abua. Now aban nhihye ne nyama ekoso nyina no Ghanaians should benefit from it. I think that's where the focus. Oh, we did. Why? We had the numbers to make sure that e-levy never saw the light of day. We had the numbers at the time. Yeah, to a bank I would have failed. But we had to agree with them. I mean, establish a consensus. And you're bomb. So to a large extent, when the numbers were virtually equal, and even when we had fewer numbers were in opposition, I think from 17 to 2020, we helped them. Yeah, bomb. I mean, we cooperated with them in parliament. And it's the same thing we're asking about them. Now look, bring, serious alternative, very constructive, things to parliament. Yeah, mind. That's what we are doing. That's where the focus should be. Everything should not be about partisanship. Why? Most people in my party and even outside my party are calling for a third term for John Mahama. I'm a member of the NDC. I'm clearly against that. Because I see that it is going to disturb this country if you go on that path. NDC for the drop it. No, I am seeing beyond, that kind of nipadodrona edging say, look into the future and see what may possibly arise if we take any such decision.
All right.
Regardless of whether it is in favor of the party or majority of whoever it is. So to a very large extent, yes, he's found himself.
Now contempt, baby.
Oh, he will.
Oh, we've seen Parliament contempt.
Contempt action is hard.
A member of Parliament.
Yes.
And see, but when it happens to outsiders.
Yeah. Oh, that one, the Parliament is being considerate because you are not in the House. So the assumption is that you are not abreast with their rules and proceedings. He's a
minority leader. He's a minority leader.
You know what? You know why I think Ebeko Baby?
Chairman.
If they had wanted to protect him, like, we are all suggesting he's a minority leader and all those kind of things. If they had wanted to protect one of their own, the Speaker would not have referred it to the committee at all. He would not have referred it to the committee at all. Why? Okay, the various investigations, and other. Have you heard anything about them?
Maybe.
It's because, maybe backdoor they have decided that, look, they want to level things up.
Yeah, but sometimes the strategy to kill a matter is to refer it to the appropriate quarters, and that's the end.
The committee is going to submit the report.
Yeah.
And that report will be made public.
But that is where you can actually...
In addition with the sanctions.
That is where you can actually influence the whole outcome.
Say on sign it to
because at the end of the day, in-camera hearings, for instance, we won't know what really happened. A report comes and we're supposed to take it hook, line, and sinker.
What happened did was grave, to be honest with you. It brought a national embarrassment.
Well, we haven't heard from his side. I don't know why he went there if indeed he was not supposed to be there. They are.
His presence there affected what we were going to do then. Exactly the point. So his presence there was material to going there. And that's what brought the embarrassment. And the majority leader had to make a call to intervene before they were attended to. So, like I'm saying, I mean, what he did was grave. Whether the committee is going to dance around it because he's a member.
He's a leader.
He's a leader in the house and all that. Well, we wait to see. But for me, I've always been, strict when it comes to causes and effects.
Okay.
Let's do it. You see, we are not serving enough deterrence. So I no saying that that's any pan fan towards Anna. And man is saying, it serves as a deterrent.
The law is the law.
So imagine that Apanyo is going to have to face certain consequences because of the Awaye. A whole leader in the house. You think the other members can be able to dare do any such thing again? At least it will bring some sanity into the house. Because they are fast veering into certain areas. To be honest with you, MY in Parliament. They are an arm of government. That's why we call them honorable members. Must reflect the kind of respect, and reverence.
What do you make of the Pandai verdict?
Court has ruled. Court has ruled. And it must be obeyed. I completely disagree with him. Yes, this is a court ruling. What it means is that should we allow it to continue to be in Parliament, and then the appeal, is squashed, and then the earlier judgment is upheld, what becomes of you? It means you've been in Parliament for all these while, exactly. So, he should just step aside. I mean, the court ruling should be enforced. Whatever happens.
But what's your minority now? The judgment that came, who said travesty of justice, who said judge, I'm misconducting, a press conference or the judge, my lawyer need but was citing for misconduct, not cite as in ordinary before a committee, but pointed out some of the things and he talks about the fact that as a NDC for no nim ruling that because the regional minister LED NDC 4 into the courts in that high anticipation said the ruling is in their favor. And omu behavior in United said na omu nim the judgment that was coming. Apart from that, before the judge gave the ruling, now Parliament had been served. And his point is that a kangaroo style of justice delivery. And these are issues Omodeka said that whole judgment is tainted and it cannot be a fair assessment of situation.
Parliament had been served before the ruling came out. Yeah, is that what happened you say?
Yeah.
That's what he's claiming.
Yeah, that's what he's claiming.
Apparently doesn't receive services on behalf of Parliament.
Yeah, but he has intelligence. He could have known. Or a leader of Parliament. Maybe he has means to know.
Well, I'm not going to argue about that. Okay. But yes, then the second thing also is that they claim that NDC was in anticipation of the judgment. Any serious lawyer who goes, sometimes I go to court, open court, because I read a few law, courses. So I see how they manifest. When a date is given you for judgment and you are coming, even your lawyer will do two things. Will arrive in court with two things. With an appeal. Or with
already prepared.
But MP4 is the same thing they did. Matthew's lawyer.
Was ruling no.
So you went to court prepared with an appeal,
execution,
and then a stay. But you are questioning somebody's preparedness
to celebrate.
I mean, what sort of logic is this? What sort of logic is this? Who says you want to appeal? How did they know that they were going to lose the case? Only they who here. Now means to make corner. Maybe him say me kunim. So I was prepared to go and celebrate. We both did it in anticipation, and it is normal with judgment dates. Oko kotin ma so that way. And asemono yedi then the final verdict beba no. It is called judgment date. You are prepared to do a lot of things in anticipation. Until when one partner say, I don't understand him sometimes when he speaks like this. Because everybody went there in anticipation. One was going to celebrate, the other was going to make an appeal. So that completely out of order.
I heard the argument in court during the trial. Witness are NDC candidate in the fray. Eka say votes in contention are 500 votes, which affects about 40 plus polling stations. And on TSS, if that is what they were contending, 500 votes affecting 44 polling stations, on what basis would you annul the entire elections and say, he also advances the argument that where a Matthew Nindam Nyaye, now where a bar NDC candidate in Nyaye. Say 500 now, almost cassettes in contention. Almost the kind this in Inua. Matthew Nindam will still be ahead of him by 3,000.
Happy FM 98.9.
What the Canadian no and ya deal with Timimpo, Akasawa Beno. Now, where Gina no so extra the entire election results in Museum Cotonou Fufro. And no Chicho Mason.
I pay marking Yams and the massing yet. The total number of votes in 41 polling stations, 500. It is not.
44 polling stations.
44.
Yeah.
Even one polling station is more than 500.
The votes in contention.
In contention.
Yes.
Let's say one votes in all those places.
Exactly.
Good. So once there are contentions in 44 polling stations, directly
out of 152.
By implication, it could mean that same things might have happened,
But you have to establish that.
Yeah, basically, that's what I'm saying.
Assume.
So the judge sitting there, that this is the matter of contention. And I think one of the cases that we also made in court was that Matthew Hona, yes, sir, coalition center.
In Tokwasim, the coalition center no called Tamale. And the NDC candidate did not show up, but Matthew showed up.
Why did we no call Tamale?
Electoral Commission.
For what reason?
Security reasons.
No.
Yeah, security reasons no more.
They be about to
that's
what created all the problems.
It
is part of the reason why
allows EC to
it is part of the reason why a lot of people say the EC is incompetent. You have designated a center for coalition.
Yeah.
What you do is you put security there. If it is not enough, you call for backup. You don't move the coalition center. You call for backup for security. You don't move the center. Moving the center basically means that you are now coming to transfer everything. Anything could happen in transit. With ballot boxes and all those kind of things. Anything can happen in transit.
But it is the security in charge of that process.
No, I'm saying that. Beef up security.
The same security and beef up. So security now so never transporting them. So if you can't trust them to transport the things, how do you trust them to beef up security and protect the ballots?
See, I mean, what I'm saying is that
yeah.
Now when you are leaving the polling station, all the agents of every political party is part of the movement.
Into what
of the polling station.
What's the
no, listen to what I'm saying. Into all of us have moved to the designated center.
Yeah.
You are moving the things away.
Not moving it away. You are changing the location.
It's the same thing.
No. Moving away is like you are moving away. They moved it to a different
but they changed the location.
Yes.
I'm not American.
But because moving away, as if say they are moving away. I mean, as if say baby but
so they change the location.
They change
and
the
I'm saying that
in elections, yes.
In elections, anything can happen in transit. So
and anything too can happen at the coalition center.
At least I heard
when they were moving,
now movie near man in transit candidate be a polling agent or
it could be
police for also can.
Now let me explain further to you. By the time you would have submitted everything from your polling station, once the EC takes custody of it, you leave it to your coalition agents over there. You, the polling agents, you can now leave. In the process of the transit, in this case, you are not going to get the same people around to move the thing.
You have a coalition agent,
which is just a small number. You know why?
Now,
because box, down. So now you don't need all the polling agents there. But yet, if the polling station now, you needed all of them to accompany it. In this case, all of them there again.
You don't need all of them.
A hole in that transit is where anything could happen.
But if you have not established the BBC, it is always cooled.
So I'm saying that.
Cooled.
No, this one is not a matter of cool.
That's what you're saying. Anything could happen.
So, those who applied, the applicants, could make the case that. Yanya susu say e kwan no so no nyame bisi
mususu
enti mo de mo nsa keka
was that established was that established
enti ye dia asema ba court say ade nanka wo se ye na ana mo ye fi ha de kwakọ ye ne baabi foforo
enti mususu say
adwumboni wo mutrim nti ana mo say da eye gidi
enti judge no assumption
no say ya wo be nyama na akọ baabi foforo ni akọ dandan ni ni ama obi ewi ni election ana e bia judge no ti dwam so say sa asem we amokan me hwa nukura kakra be wo.
How can a judge think like that?
In fact, 41 no cry no.
Better no judge wadwene sa.
Yeah, 41 ni bio. Yeah, running the whole constituency.
That is a very fair assessment.
Oh, judge na dwene no. What am rano day? The law is in the bosom of the judge. So, the law is in the bosom of the judge. What's now say dwene ho was there be. Ade amoye nya ne kwan so. It infringes on our electoral.
Judge be na yes, ade we an MPP time and kasana beka. Say I mean, the judge is the law is in the bosom of the judge. You wouldn't have said that.
The law gives me the opportunity to appeal.
You wouldn't
like
have
they
said
have
that.
done.
You wouldn't have said that.
Oh no, you don't get my point.
You'd have questioned the judge's verdict. Because when you know your assumption.
Oh no, we question judge's verdict every time.
In the court, in the trial, NDC to me establishes say the whole process was so compromised.
Yes.
Where?
No, by the simple, dint of moving the things from one place.
That is not evidence.
Indeed,
you only assume
moving the thing from the designated place
to
another.
North elections because it was moved from Ablekuma North to the EC4 officer. No, it did not lead to the annulment of the entire election.
And I'm saying the NDC protested
it. It did not lead to the annulment of the entire election.
There should be a judgment against that.
The case about court was specific issues with votes. It led to the entire annulment of the election. Because who said the thing was compromised.
There is an officially designated place.
MPP time when I judge be here way and
there is an officially designated place. What polling agents?
This is not the first time our electoral commission. And your first time electoral commission. Say change coalitions and
my dream let me say. And no judge no who ye. No say there be Saturday amuye parliamentary. Be say adwumboni bo mu
tri. Law ben original so cancer.
China na ruling baba wo. You know, but as I said 30 days.
Yeah, to be an interesting judgment.
Yes, yes, I'm to abano from. But indeed, what is Matthew's problem anyway? My namesake, what's his problem?
His problem is that the judge.
You won by 3,000. So if there's going to be a rerun, we expect that you win again.
No, but why shouldn't that stand? The 3,000, then I mean, we're winning.
Judge, say the process was compromised.
With what evidence?
We went there with evidence.
Evidence, Ben Amodekoe.
41 polling stations.
It's 41 polling stations.
Maybe he thinks he said 41. In
fact, 44.
44.
You got 2 or 44 where? I then you will be about to. Now you move for Nana. Do we think, say?
Oh no,
no. Do we think that people take pleasure in coming to queue to vote? Into any time you bet me Chamuni as for Sambe Twaba. Yes, we are not respecting. Yes, we are not respecting the people.
Now say 44 no cry still like any part of our.
Yes, but near NK 44 no then also affected.
Well, to be honest with you, I think the judge in his discretion,
thought that it would be proper and fair.
But you know discretion can always be abused. So you are aware. So discretion can be abused.
Yeah, that's why the law allows you to challenge a verdict in court. Anything on Wako appeal. No? But me make say, I think that the judge was even being sympathetic to, Matthew. To be honest with you.
They were not done.
Yes, the judge was even sympathetic.
Because I don't know what done.
Who said there be any idea crowd na winning here. Inti any yensan koto ni na biu. Yeah, her can say the way I crown fast winning no. It will happen again. No.
But that's not fair.
So I think the judge is rather even being fair with Matthew. Giving him an opportunity
After
to repeat
why your campaign you win election.
To repeat the victory again.
The opportunity to repeat victory again. As if said the victory is
because your victory
within his control.
Your victory was contested. And the judge found that, look, I mean, they
change judgment in the
Oh, definitely. Tomorrow, dear, I think we are all waiting, to read it.
Less than some few hours.
Yeah. So I think it's an opportunity for Matthew to, go for a resounding victory again. So on the CSL, no, we need it is a you go back and then you do your work, and then you win again by the margin of 3,000 or even more, maybe this time around. So I think that's not too much of an issue.
But he has held that seat for a very long time.
Oh, a couple. That place has been swinging. A horse swinging. So he shouldn't be worried at all. I mean, he's appealed. He's challenging the verdict. Oh. You see, Senior Bibi, the NDC is a political party.
Yes.
That is why we exist. About 20. Said Benya to me. Yeah, they are some Ghana. We are not the judge. Yeah, share judge and say one can say and go to a baby moon.
I deal with you. Can you say
Oh, Sinabi, maybe person me say.
A humano, if you didn't saw Naya, we should
make person me say. Yeah, in this day, Amanuku. Indeed, the NDC can meet today and decide. They say, Hokra, I ain't yet. Won't feel any candidate again. It's a decision the party can take. Oh, court now and as a Chinese say, the electoral processes we believe had not gone the way we were supposed to go. Now, Mraso Mahon Kainsa, abaning your tour, it was a kind ye, but the ashes a kind one, young kind of a polling station beyond the results about a feeling Kikawa beyond any. There must be no contention with regards to figures or any of the electoral processes. And Koban is a court. Into here, you prepare you in your court. We want fairness. And you see a pre-seat, and this is a pre-seat. We have enough, more than enough. Into Judge Nash say in the next 30 days, yes, I'm going to talk about. Yeah, man, that's why we exist. Yeah, but to me, Eddie Asum, Ghana for. See a quote, that's almost say a Matthew Nan or Mopena. I'm to Obama and be me boy. Sanko Banasana say, NDC candidate, I didn't ever call some Mopena. Then the people have had their say to who represents them in parliament. So, Senior Bibi, as for me, dear, I don't see what the problem is. And for me, I think you should respect the court's decision. Now, with his appeal and the other court processes. Then her baby about for me, I think it would be untidy for him to force himself into parliament. And all that, he may be facing issues of contempt even with courts. Court has said, don't hold yourself as a member of parliament again. Oko parliament, you are part of the proceedings in parliament. You are in clear contempt.
Yeah.
So for his own good, manin tiedi apenyo na mu no contempt na ache no. Akoko yi ni hwano. Nti manin tiedi apenyo kan. He should respect the order from the court. I think he has been served on parliament.
Yeah.
Into the marshals in and then if he continues in that manner, it means he's in clear contempt of the court because court has said so basically and a series he should rather go and start preparing for because within 30 days there was some organizer a battle and basically all that. Just a little the Galamsey issue
quickly.
Yes, with the Mimi hotel. I was following the conversation. And all that. I think we must get clarity when it comes to some of the things. There is large-scale mining. There is small-scale mining, both licensed. And you are allowed to mine. And then there is illegal mining, which is without license, it could be done anywhere too. But the Amana Baye which is the illegal mining, which is Galamsey, you are mining without license and permit. The Amana Baye who say, Omutisi kwayem, no akodregu. Omo yi gudi ni ria, pam, omejan hosa, no reclamation of the land, nothing. Ebi di sanfa akosi nsuo so.
A small scale miners ni bebre soon in reclaim land. And you are in reclaim.
I know EPA ni minerals we should begin to be watching them very carefully. They don't. Exactly. Inti e honso wo se ye hwe ho. Akamia koye say ye de suboni na de bia ne de politicians and all that. Forestry Commission. Mo na he kwaye so. Munya politicians. Mo ye dwumayefo agana fo adaroma ya fam abusu ni bia yetwa muka. Se mo e kwaye ho mpan. Den na de bia nkrofo ra ye kwaye mo ebubu kwaye nugu. Forestry Commission no. Minerals Commission. You are issuing licenses to places where you don't even have an office to go and do monitoring. Several miles where you have issued licenses to, you don't have any, outlet, officers or any office around them to be doing monitoring.
District assembly be
Minerals Commission. They are not everywhere. But they'll sit here and issue licenses.
But EPA has a desk office in every.
Yes, EPA is. Okay. So these very agencies, though the politicians should do their bit, and let's see the clear distinction. I am all for neutralizing.
Well, my time is up.
Just me this year. Yeah. I'm all for neutralizing. We have red zones.
Yeah.
It's been issued. You'll be neutralized. I don't want to use the right words. Because I see him coho. A yen so a yaquayim in Siho, so called two family good year. Young Kwana come the war. Sebio won't go for a yin cry and other places are 1 year Jumaye. Some bonya mimpaye. So we be kwama my age man. Young Kwana come the war. So called Jias as you go, I go saying you. Sebe Albania family good year. Yes, sir. Ubiamfa, the on my pension, Ubiamfa Juma who could do what near Botua.
Holali Agbamava Akpana Osia.
Thank you, bro.
Mauna Irao. Yadebesi Anamada Holali ase Mada Timini Nanswa say up next a happy Cassia Bomidine Bismark Brown Ubitimi Afremi BB. Me sorry sui na meda Joel Sankwa se Mada Jimaima and Joyce and Swas. Many thanks to Joseph Adankwa and special one. Yes, sorry so they are na Prince and Tribu Sia Con News Mukom for